Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the First and Goal podcast, episode 7. I'm your host, Quaysie Maule. Usually, I have my co host, other host, Brent, but right now he's having some technical difficulties. So, whenever he comes on, he comes on. So, this episode is going to be kind of a bit differently. We have two guests that are going to come on. Oh, we actually have three guests that are going to come on very shortly. Uh, One of them is AJ Gomez, that a lot of you guys know. So he's going to be joining us, and we're just going to kind of pick his brain and kind of uh, see his experience that he did because he actually ended up making the senior national men's team, and he just also experienced the Canada Senior National Championship as well. So he's gonna be on the call. I think he's actually in the call now. So we're just gonna kind of ask him kind of questions, and we're gonna pick his brain and kind of see how he got into five plus football, and kind of see what he thinks about it and stuff. Did you Did you can hear me?
Yeah, that was great.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, bro?
I'm good. I'm good. So I'm just gonna get my questions here, so I don't have to bladder. Okay. So so yeah, so to kind of start it off, so I'm gonna ask you questions, and I kind of just want you to kind of just roll with it, and we're just gonna go from there. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So when did you start playing in the league in FPF, and what team did you start playing for?
So I actually start my first experience in Flag Plus was an overnight charity tournament. Something that hasn't been done in a while. I know Rob used to organize them back in the day, and I had a guy that I coached football with. He was my coach. His name is Erminio Yadaluca, and he asked me to participate in that tournament with him, with a bunch of Cougars players. I did, and we ended up winning in the division that we were in. And from that point forward, I fell in love with Flag, and he asked me to play on his team. We were in like maybe Division 5A. I don't even think the divisions were split back then. We were in Division 5 or Division 4, and we were on the St. Leonard Cougars flag team together. So that's how I started. It was back in like 2014, 2015, maybe.
Okay. So at that time, How old were you?
I was like 18 years old. I had just stopped playing tackle football. I was on the junior tackle football team here in St. Leonard. Shout out to the Cougars. I'm actually getting to a practice right now to coach the kids. The team had folded, and like every other tackle player looking for something to do after tackle, I got into flag.
Okay. It's crazy about the charity midnight tournament. So I did it as well. I did it with the Brotherhood. And if you think about it, right? So if you're the age of 18, do you know how crazy it is for all those older guys? Like imagine doing the overnight tournament now and you have
Yeah,
games at
forget
4
that,
o'clock
bro. I'm
in the
in
morning.
bed. I'm in bed by 10:30 every night. There's no charity overnight tournament, dude.
You know how crazy that is? When I was younger, I was like, oh yeah, guys, we have games at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
this
I was
is
like, yo, that's like the funnest thing in the world. You're like, yo, we drinking, we partying, we playing flag all night. This is awesome. I can't even imagine doing something like that now.
yeah, I was just thinking about it because you're like, oh, it hasn't been back. I was like, oh, it'd be so cool. But you'd have to have like the younger generation, then you'd be the older generation. But it's insane to have games at that time.
Yeah, 100%,
Ah,
100%. I couldn't agree more. But with that said, I feel like we should still bring it back.
no, for sure. At least just to see, and also give the younger guys the experience as well.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And that's what it's all about, right? It's about bringing in, like, as an older guy now, it's about bringing in those younger guys to make sure that we get them involved in the league. Good, you?
Yeah, for
That was
sure.
a that was a that was an FPF legend that just walked by me right there. That's Seb Says Lozon. I know you remember him for sure.
Yeah, yes, sir. Okay, so the second question I have for you, right? So the hardest thing I think with a lot of people, and some people actually have it easy and some people have it hard, but can you tell me about your first ever FPF championship win?
Yeah, for sure. I
Like
was
what
on a
team?
team. I was on the commission, which it's unfortunate that Brent's not on this podcast right now because I know he'd love to hear about the commission glory days. But yeah, I was on the commission with Brent. Sean Abram was the quarterback. We had 1-2 punch duel with the receivers in myself and Jordan Allard,
Okay.
my fellow Eagles fan. So Jordan actually won receiver of the year with like 21 touchdowns on the season. And on the same team, I was right behind him with like 19 touchdowns that season. And then we got to the finals I don't even remember who we played in the finals, but I remember we got to the finals, and the finals MVP ended up being Eddie Lee because they were so concerned on me and Jordan. Eddie Lee just stole 3 touchdowns and said, "Thank you very much. Have a nice night." It was the easiest championship I ever won in my life. It was amazing.
Do you remember who you
Shout
guys
out,
played
shout
against?
out to Eddie Lee for that. That's a big time player.
Do you remember who you guys play against for that
I
championship?
really, I really don't remember at all, but I know we won. That's the most
Yeah.
important. That was my first one.
Eddie Lee is sneakily like he's sneakily good to a certain point. You
Yeah,
know, like you
and
don't expect much from him, but if you need to get if he has to get touchdowns or make up what
100%, 100%. That's a
he's
veteran. That's a league veteran right there.
he's
And
fantastic.
we had a good all around team that year. We had Matt Patron on the team. That's a FPF veteran defender right there. And then Matt Patron ended up being the reason that I got to play on Clockwork the season after. So that was pretty cool. We had Don Benevento on that team. Don Benevento was our snapper, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to
Mhm.
Don Benevento, another league veteran. Miss seeing him around the fields for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
had a good team, well-rounded team.
Mm. Yeah, it's a solid, solid bunch of guys that you're naming there. Okay,
Yeah.
so the third question I had for you, the third question I have for you is how much different is the game now from when you started playing? When you first started playing.
Oh man, I feel like just I feel like when I started playing, I kept hearing about all these older guys that were so good back in the day. But I'll be honest, I feel like with every sport, it just keeps getting better and better. And like Flag Plus is no exception. The level that it's at right now with all these college kids and all these university kids, I feel like it wasn't necessarily always like that. Like it was guys playing flag for fun recreationally, and now this league has turned into something really special. When I'm at the top 50 selection for the men's Canadian team, and 40 of those guys or 30 of those 50 guys are guys that I play with, or even at the first selection with 150 players, at least 70 to 90 of those guys are all from Flag Plus football, and they're all really good receivers. The league has
Mhm.
definitely stepped up on average and become just a really, really great league full of talent. It's
Yeah,
not just it's not just a bunch of dads running around catching footballs. You got
no,
ex
that's
uni guys, ex college guys, ex tackle guys that all know how to play football.
no, 100%. I'm with you with that. I always tell people about our league. I'm like, you guys have to realize the talent that we have in Montreal slash Quebec that you get to watch compared to other places outside like inside even inside Canada and outside Canada. Like it's completely
Super
different. Like
special.
some people are like, oh, I'm gonna go here and watch. Like let's say you go to Manitoba or whatever, Nova Scotia. It's completely different compared to coming here. And a lot of players like they go play out in Ottawa and they come and they think whatever they play their like more of as a rec league and they come to FPF and they start playing and like oh these guys are actually the real deal.
No, that's exactly it. Like even some of the younger guys in the league that don't have as much experience, I'll see a guy like Emile Gregoire line up against me, and it's like I coached him for a season at Champlain, and that's the guy that holds all the receiving records for Champlain right now. And even though he's just starting in flag, we're talking about a high quality,
Yeah,
high level receiver right there. Same thing. Emerson Peterkin is getting involved in the league, and this we're talking about a three-way superstar: quarterback, DB, receiver. This kid could do it all, and he's just doing this for fun in his off season. So that's pretty special to see. The future of the league and where it's headed with the development of this talent is pretty incredible, and it's a big part of the reason why I post my highlights and I try and film as much as I can when I'm at the field because I want to let the next generation know like there's life after football when you're done playing tackle. It's cool to come and play flag.
no, for sure. Because I feel like back in the day when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna play flag football," we
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
look at
yeah,
them.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
like,
Exactly that. Exactly that. And it's like, no,
flag.
it's you're still running routes, you're still catching balls, and there's still some contact involved here and there. Especially if
Mhm.
you're playing against the Perry brothers.
Yeah, yeah. So, kind of talking about like football and how much different it got. So, FPF kind of now announced the 5-on-5, right? That's kind of it's starting to be a
Yeah,
big thing compared to the
yeah.
6v6. What do you prefer playing, 5v5 or 6v6?
Definitely 5v5. I'll always have a special place in my heart for the 6v6 for how I started in FPF. But 5-on-5 is just so much more realistic for my life as a flag football coach. For everything outside of FPF, it prepares you for everything outside of FPF because the reality is that 6-on-6 is so rare to find. 5-on-5 is what's played around the world. 5-on-5 is what's played internationally. EFAF is 5-on-5. Anytime you go to a tournament in the States, it's most likely 5-on-5. They even have 4-on-4 divisions, which is weird. I haven't played that yet. But no, 5-on-5 just is super realistic to flag outside of FPF. So I like that a lot. And because it's new in FPF and I have a little bit of that experience as a coach coaching 5-on-5, I kind of feel like I can have a bit of an upper hand sometimes.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's really nice for that.
Okay. Um, Talking about kind of you're kind of talking about the Canadian the when you're talking about the camp and stuff like that. You actually just got selected to on the roster for the Canadian national senior team, and you just came back from LA. I think it's been about 2 weeks ago. I think you came back.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that experience go?
Oh man, it was an absolute dream come true. I don't want to get too emotional here on this podcast, but since I started playing flag, it was always like a step by step process where I set these goals for myself. When I started, I just wanted to prove that I was good enough to play in Division One FPF, and then I just wanted to prove that I was one of the best players in the league, and then I wanted to prove that I was one of the best players in the country after going to these national tournaments. And then once I saw what the national tournaments were all about, I really just wanted to represent my country playing my favorite sport. So being able to put on that Team Canada jersey, being able to represent my country, being able to defeat the Americans, it's one of the greatest feelings. It's something that's going to live in my heart forever, without a doubt. I really, really enjoyed myself. I made the team as a reserve, and then I got called to go to LA to replace somebody that wasn't able to go. So I just told myself I'm gonna be a sponge, absorb the whole every opportunity I can while I'm there, absorb the whole experience. And yeah, let me tell you, I definitely absorbed that experience. I definitely made the most out of it that I could. I definitely tried to make as many plays as I could. It was a dream come true. It was incredible. Even just like hanging out with the players from the other countries, Japan,
Yeah.
Australia, USA. That's what it's really about. Just keep on building the sport and bringing attention to the sport. It was really special.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure also like the fact that you're talking about Japan, right? Like when are you gonna actually see a player from Japan in that situation? Like when you're like, oh yeah, I played versus a guy from Japan and that played on the national team, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And also, it's like there's so much hype about the Americans. Everyone hypes up the Americans. Yo, the Americans are good. I won't take anything away from them. They got some freak athletes over there. But the Japanese surprised me, man. The Japanese, yo, these guys were no joke. They are fast as hell. They are super disciplined. They're super athletic. I had the pleasure of having the Japanese quarterback in my group when we had the when we had the joint practice with the other countries. And yo, that
Okay.
that boy that boy can sling it, man. He threw me a post, and I was like, okay, all right. We ended up exchanging info. We ended up exchanging Instagram, and we're sitting next to each other on the bus ride back to the dorms. I'm looking through his Instagram, and we're talking about the top quarterback in the university league in Japan. He just lost his national championship, unfortunately. But I was looking at highlights of him in the national championship game, and yo, they got football over there. They know what they're doing. Football it's beautiful like that because it's played everywhere around the world.
Yeah, I find Japan's gonna get better and better every single year.
Oh, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. Trust me. They're going to be a
So
problem. And you know what? They are super respectful. You're shaking hands after the game and they're saying thank you. Guys are asking you to
uh,
jersey swap, and it was really special.
yeah, I'm sure. So kind of going back to that, right? So you guys ended up defeating the USA. I forgot the score. If
It
you
was
want to remind
25
me.
it was 25-21, but if I'm being honest and trying to be humble, we could have dropped a lot more points. We threw a pick six and we gave up a safety. I'll take the safety on me. I probably should have ran it out of the end zone instead of throwing it back to my quarterback. For the first time, I tried not to be selfish. Probably should have been a
Mhm.
little bit more selfish in retrospect. But yeah, they only scored really their offense only scored 12 points against us. We gave them 2 points and we gave them a pick six. And if we score on those drives, that score goes from 25-21 to
At least
30
40.
something to 12.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
would you say that was the best experience winning that game? Because I'm sure going into that game, and I'm sure a lot of people are they're kind of saying like USA is going to come out with this. They're gonna sweep everyone. They're gonna win all their games. They're gonna make it like a walk in the park, right? So do
Oh,
you feel like winning that game was the best experience in that trip?
yeah, look, winning that game was really, really special. A big part of the experience for me, because I've been coaching a lot of football, a lot of flag football for the past 10 years. Like I said, I'm at the field right now, about to coach a practice. Um, One of the best parts of the experience for me was being able to be a player and get coached again, especially being coached by a professional CFL coach like Paul Lapolis. He's so sharp. He's such a great football mind. Even our other coach, Pat, our assistant offensive coordinator, Pat, it was awesome being there with him. A big part of the experience for me was being coached again. It felt great. Being the Americans was awesome. But after the game, having my mom on the sidelines there, being all emotional, running over to her and my wife Christina, that was a pretty special experience. Having them there, being able to hug my mom after everything that we've been through, our journey in life, and her her working really hard to put me through sports and instill these important values in me.
Yeah,
That was really special. Experiencing it was one thing, but experiencing it with family, it was something incredible that I'll never forget for sure.
I'm sure. Sounds amazing. The fact that
Yeah,
you're able to do that
it was awesome. It
and
was
have the
awesome.
people that the people that you care about the most there to kind of soak that all
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. Like that when the second that whistle was done and I ran over and I got to hug my mom, that was probably something unforgettable for sure.
So kind of going back to kind of competitive football and stuff. So this past weekend we just had the Canadian National Senior Championships. Can you tell me how that experience went? In
So
in in, in all, like in I want to in
it was
everything.
it was awesome. It was awesome. We recently just kind of like rebranded our team. We came out as the MTL Magic, new uniforms, new name, new squad. Again, super special. Right before the finals, I ended up giving a speech to my team in the huddle. And as I'm looking around the huddle, I'm realizing that there's not one, not two, not three, not even four, but there's five kids on this team that I had the pleasure of coaching when they were younger. Three or four of them in flag for Team Quebec. One of them grew up playing with my brother over here at St. Leonard, playing with some of my best friends in the world. That was awesome. We always want to win and we always have high expectations, but we're still being realistic going into the tournament. And then before you know it, we're just gelling as a team, vibing as a team, and we found ourselves in the national championship final game against our rivals, as usual, the Les Braves. After beating them in the semis, we had to face them again in the finals because now they split up into two teams. Yeah, God bless. You know, you finally slay the dragon. You finally slay the dragon, and it's a double-headed dragon. So that was still an incredible experience. And then um, the team we face in the finals ends up being our full team Canada defense minus one guy who couldn't be there, but
Yeah,
everyone else is it's our full team Canada defense minus one guy that should be in rotation, and we lost. Unfortunately, we lost with 25 seconds left in the game. It was a bit of a heartbreaker, but the reality is that we put up more points on that team Canada defense than
yeah.
any
That's
of the
what I
teams
was just
than
about.
any of the teams did in Los Angeles, than Team USA, Team Japan, and Team Australia did in LA. So you know what? We lost, but after three touchdowns and a pick in the national championship game, going up against my Team Canada defense, it's hard to say that it felt like a big loss. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
it
for
was a
sure.
loss. It was a loss, and I'll be honest, it definitely hit me hard. I've been emotional the past couple days. It hurt. It hurt like losing
Yeah,
should for any high
I'm
competitor. But at the same time, when you do try and pick yourself back up and you look at the bright side of things, you're like, yo, we just dropped more points on these guys than they let in all weekend against the best teams in the world. I just scored three touchdowns against guys that their whole game plan was don't let AJ score a touchdown. So
yeah.
it felt pretty good. It felt pretty good, and it also shows that like what we're building is special. MTL Magic's on the right path.
Yeah,
We just started. We just started with a new squad, and I think it's only going to get better from here.
I do wanna say I did witness that game, right? I was on the sideline. You
Yeah,
guys are pretty much
you should have been on the squad.
you guys are pretty much 25 seconds away from winning a national championship. So
Yeah,
the fact that you guys the fact that you guys were a new team, uh, a bunch of younger guys, you guys were just 25 seconds away to win a national championship shows a lot. And the fact that you did play versus the Braves, you did play one pretty much a stacked defense, a stacked offense that they're kind of used to playing with each other. So it did show a little heart, and it did show a lot of heart, and it showed a lot that
Yeah, and
that you
and,
guys
and for
did
me,
to help
and
you
and
guys.
for me, it's always a humbling experience in these situations because, yeah, like I said, 3 touchdowns and a pick, but I know I made my own mistakes in that game, and I'm always my toughest critic, and it's like,
Mhm.
even though everyone's like, oh, you played great, yeah, but I blew a coverage at one point that led to a touchdown, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. And on a fourth down early on in the game to start the game, I slipped breaking out of my route, and I could have caught a fourth down touchdown, but I didn't because I slipped breaking out of my route. So
Yeah,
for me, it's like there's always more that I could do. There's always more that I can achieve. There's always more that I could work on. I could have had 4 touchdowns. I could have had 4 touchdowns and 2 picks instead of 3 touchdowns and 1 pick, and maybe that would have led my team to the victory. So I
yeah.
always feel like I could do more, and I always feel like there's more that I can work on. And I'm just grateful for that opportunity to still be
It was
humble and think
yeah, it
about
was
those things that I could do better for the next time. You know?
was as long as you know that, that's the learning experience, right?
Yeah, that's
So
exactly it.
we just got joined by Brent. Welcome, Brent. Thanks for coming to
Brent,
the show.
Brent missed the talk about the commission days.
Yeah,
I know,
Brent, we
Quaysie.
were talking about AJ's first championship, and he was saying he won it with the commission. Um, so I
Yeah,
kind of,
hey,
kind
it's
of
good
want to,
time. Long time ago. Long time ago.
yeah, yeah. So I kind of want to, AJ, I kind of want to stick with the same thing we're talking about here, right? How well do you think he was organized this year compared to the other years with the schedule and the stats, and just how everything was kind of shown compared to the previous years? Because this is your third national championship, right?
Yeah,
Senior
it
national
was
championship.
It was
So
incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And, not because we were at home here in Montreal, not just because, like we spoke about before, Quebec is the central hub for flag football in Canada. But like you said, you brought up the stats, and shout out to Rob Campana for that. We lost him on the staff of FPF, but we gained him in the flag football community in another way, which is through his company League Suite.
mhm,
And I know him and Alex the Eagle Tequila are doing some great things over there with League Suite, and they just make the experience so much better. Having access to your stats all weekend, seeing what you did, seeing at the end of the weekend, oh, and at this many games, I had this many touchdowns, this many receptions, this many
yeah,
yards. It's really special. It's really incredible to be a part of, and the organization overall was pretty awesome. Shout out to everyone at Football Quebec, Football Canada, like Rich Lachance, Owen, all these guys that are putting in so much work behind the scenes that don't get as much recognition as they deserve. They really did a great job of organizing it, and it's so nice to be a part of the flag football community because you can see that progression, not just in FPF, but even outside of FPF, everything Football Canada related. How these national tournaments become more and more serious, more and more
mhm,
intense every year, and it's just gonna keep compelling more and more people to be a part of it.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So AJ, I have two more questions for you before you can leave, or before you're able to go.
Yeah.
Um, one of them is it kind of. Oh, sorry, actually, one question. Well, one of them was kind of saying it made you feel like you were kind of a pro athlete. I saw a lot of people posting their stats and stuff like that, saying, "Oh, they had 300 yards and 8 touchdowns, like going into playoffs, and then playoffs they showed
Yeah,
their
even
stats."
having everything live streamed and all that is super
Yeah,
awesome also.
I felt like a lot of athletes felt like they were a pro in that tournament. And so the last thing I want to ask you, right? So you had your quarterback Dan Lazzara that we're actually going to have on the show later on. Other
Shout out to
than
my boy Dan. Everybody thought he was washed. Everyone thought he was done when he tore his bicep. And he's the best quarterback in the nation always. Always. And
so
it's not
so
even
going
close.
so going back to that, right? He's the best quarterback in the nation. Okay. Other than Dan, okay, who would you say is the other than Dan? Who do you think is the other best quarterback in FPF though?
In FPF,
Other
I
than
mean,
Dan,
look, you're
currently
putting me on
FPF. I
the
just want one
you're
name.
putting me on the spot here. I
I
don't want to
just
disrespect any of the incredibly
I
great
just want
quarterbacks in the league.
one name.
I mean, obviously we all know who the greatest of all time is. His name is Kevin Wyatt. He's a special quarterback. To do what he does at his age after all these years, all the accolades that all the things he's accomplished, nothing short of astonishing. Um, I've been playing with a new guy recently who personally he's got my heart right now is my boy Benny. I think Benny's up and coming. Benny's on the rise. Don't sleep on Benny McMahon. Let me tell you that. But yeah, definitely
What
Kev's
up,
the greatest of
Benny?
all time. Kev's the greatest of all time, and Benny's on the come up.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're going with Kevin.
I'm going with Kev. Kev's just there's no wrong answer when you say Kev.
Let me hop in here for a second. AJ, let me ask you: is there a
What's up?
quarterback that you have? Is there a QB you haven't played with yet that you want to play with maybe in the future?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I wanted to give Jeff a chance, and also kind of linked to Jeff is Panetta. Panetta's nice.
Yeah.
Panetta's nice. I wouldn't mind playing with Panetta. And like while we're on the subject, there's one quarterback that I do miss playing with, and it's my boy Marco Mascrocha. I would love nothing more but for Marco to come back one day and tear apart this league the way he did, because Marco was special, man.
Very true. Very true.
Even Sean. Sean's good too, man. I miss playing with Sean. Sean used to feed me the rock. I love that.
I always tell the story. I don't know I don't
All
know
right,
how far you
AJ.
went into it. I always tell the story quick, AJ. When I first saw you, so Dom put me on to you. You're
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
on a
yeah.
team.
Shout out to Don
Yeah,
Benevento. That's my agent.
yeah.
That's my
There you
scout.
go. This self-proclaimed world's best snapper. He put me on to you, and I remember watching you play a game, dude. You had like 3 catches for like 15 yards, and he's like, "Yo, trust me, this guy can ball. This kid can ball." And I was like, "You were being covered by a guy who was like a decent corner, I guess. He was okay." And I was like, "All right." I saw that you were explosive in that, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna listen to you, Dom. Dom's my boy as well. I'm gonna listen to you, Dom." I'm glad that I did. You got me my first championship. I
You
got you your
see?
first
There we
championship,
go.
and
No, yeah,
it goes
that's it.
on.
It was
You
it
know
was
what?
it was a
We
collaborative
actually made.
effort.
There you go. There
There's
you
another
go.
guy who
You know
actually
what? So
sorry. There's
you're
another
in a
guy.
hall fast. Yeah.
Sorry, there's another
Go,
guy
go,
that
go.
didn't start playing in FPF yet. And I don't think he has, but he was at the
Okay.
national tournament last weekend. His name is Joe Senecal. He played for the Carabin de Montreal. If this guy starts playing in
Yeah,
Flag
yeah,
Plus,
yeah.
if
Hell yeah, yeah, yeah.
this guy's gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He should
crazy
be. So
arm.
I saw his stats. I saw his stats from the tournament, and I was like, the next step, he's not playing tackle anymore, right? The next step is flag, and I've called a bunch of his games. He's the truth. This guy's the truth as a
Yeah, he's
quarterback.
gonna
So
be a
hopefully
problem. He's
he
gonna be
ends
a
up in
problem. So
FPF.
if he gets in the league, I'd love to play with him for sure.
All right,
For sure.
AJ, we're gonna let you go. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys.
Have
Hey,
a
cool.
have a great day and enjoy the training, the coaching.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm about to whip these receivers into shape right now.
All right,
Take
Nice.
it easy, boys. Have a good night. Say hi to Dan for me.
we'll do.
All right, man.
All right. Peace, boys.
All right. All right. So that was AJ Gomez.
Hall of Famer, 13-time All-Star. So I think when AJ comes on, is like something like on the technical side, something always goes wrong. So the first time it was on our end, the next 2 times it was on his end. Today it's me. I'm at a different location I usually record these episodes at was no good. I get here, I'm locked into my account. I can't get access to the email, which has the link to get on. Just it's craziness today. But thanks for holding it down, Quaysie and Reza, and obviously thanks for AJ for coming on. All right, so yeah, we have Dan Lazzara coming up next. Yeah, it's obviously so Quaysie now is experiencing some technical difficulties. Quaysie, or is it difficulty somewhere? So we got Manu. We got the main man Manu, the Manu mashup coming up here. So a lot of Division A talk. Manu's been patiently waiting to come on the show. So thank you, Manu, for coming on, sir. One, here we go.
Hey boys,
How you doing?
doing good. How about y'all?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for waiting. We appreciate it.
Hey,
Of course, man. It was fun listening to AJ and Quasi talk. It's cool to see that the passion that he has, man. He's a great representative for our sport, for our league, and man, I didn't mind waiting. I got the scoop before it comes out.
There you go. There you go. All right, man. So
yeah, for
the
sure.
Division A, man. Let's
For
hop
sure, for
into
sure.
it. Big matchup coming up. I believe this Saturday. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be one stop. Pardon me. Sorry, it's going to be Friday. So Am I wrong? Yeah, sorry. This Friday it's gonna be One Stop taking on the Braves, and then on Sunday One Stop against the Party Crashers. So One Stop right now again sitting at the bottom of Division A, right, for 1-4 record. They're on the outside of the playoffs, looking in. Two big matchups over the next coming days. Pardon me, for One Stop. Do you think they have any chance of knocking off the Braves and Party Crashers?
Man, it's gonna be hard against the Braves. One Stop is a very good squad. Their quarterback Michael Caparelli is a very good arm. Very good QB. I actually played with him one season. It's an amazing good guy, and a squad around him is very good also. Guys maybe newer to flag, so that's the thing who's gonna be a trouble for them. They're playing against teams that have been in the league in Division A for a while. One Stop is pretty new to higher division. I think they played maybe 1 or 2 seasons max in like Div 2, or they usually be like in Div 3. But I mean, very hard to see them winning both of those games. Especially the Braves, we know how they are. But against Party Crashers, it's an interesting matchup because you got very good athletes on both sides. Think like you gotta for Caparelli is you gotta utilize your best athletes and find those matchups. Of course, you gotta stay away from Mendel Joseph, who's leading the picks in Div A. But you got plenty of good players. Charles Cossette on the squad, AJ Zapatelli also, very good receiver, Janai Lewis. But the thing is, they cannot not score on a drive. They have to score every drive. Of course, limited the turnovers, which my cap is pretty good at. But man, One Stop is like it's a tough season to start in Div A for them. Like they might be the team that misses the playoffs. Hopefully not, but at the same time, man, it's hard games for them.
So Manu, going back to how you were saying that One Stop might miss the playoffs, do you think they're pretty much the one team that should be concerned for the playoffs? Because right now they're 1-4. They're 1-4. They sit at the bottom next to Party Crashers. They're 2-3, and then everyone else is kind of 3-4, 3-4,
Yeah.
3-3. Do you think One Stop is in trouble?
For sure, man. Especially like every game in Div A is so hard, so you have to start strong, and sitting at 1-4 is, man, it's gonna be hard, but they can do it. But the thing is, like, man, the Party Crashers defense is so good, and they only have 2 wins, which I'm surprised. But yeah, I think One Stop is in the most trouble. I love those guys, so it kind of hurts to say that. But yeah, man, look at their next few games. They got a game against Idaho Utah-Pims. Might be a very good matchup since Idaho is like we're newer also to the higher div, so
Yeah.
it's more equally matched for them. But when you look at Braves, Party Crashers, Jamesons, those are games that are like very hard on paper to win. But you never know what might happen on a game. Maybe that game the quarterback is off. I don't know if Jean-Lee, I think, is throwing full time. I mean, if he has a bad game or Michael Caparelli is really on, and so they might win one. But man, tough path.
How many games do you think they need to win to get into playoffs? So they're 1-4 right now, so they have 5 games left. How many for you to see One Stop in the playoffs? How many games do you think they need?
And I think they need at least 2 games, because I think it's gonna come down to a tiebreaker, points against, I believe. So that's the thing. Like, I think they got at least win 2 of those games. The good thing is they have 5 games in end, so they have half a season to go. But yeah, I think the bottom to make it is going to be 3 wins.
Okay, yeah. So I was thinking they have to win at least 3. They finished 4-6, but they beat the Vultures twice, because they played the Vultures twice in their schedule. So they don't give them those wins, and the Vultures and them both finish 4-6, but they beat them on a tie break, something around those lines.
No, for sure, because you circle those kind of games like Vultures, Idaho, those like the big games, since you're playing against teams that
Yeah.
are
So
not
like
those
yeah,
top
exactly.
top.
So, yeah, I think Party Crashers and the Braves are going to be kind of difficult for them to get
Yeah,
those wins.
for
And
sure.
then you have Vultures twice, and then you have Idaho once.
So Manu, I want to ask you. So, do you think is this fair to say the loser of this week's one stop and Party Crashers game will miss the playoffs entirely? Is that fair to say, or
Oof, that's a good question, Brent. I don't know, man, because the fact that one stop has that much game in end. Let me check. Party Crashers are at okay, so both teams are at 5 games played. So yeah, I think that's a fair assessment that the team that loses might be out, but Party Crashers with a game in win more than them. Yeah, it's gonna be between those teams: Party Crashers, Idaho, Vultures, and One Stop. Those are the teams, in my opinion, that are in most trouble of missing the playoffs.
okay? And
Um,
I like this. Sorry, Chris. I like the fact that you were humble. You were talking about your team, obviously. The whole you to Pim. She talked about obviously you have an upcoming matchup
Yeah.
against One Stop in about a week or so on the 22nd of July. Just sticking with your team there for a second. You guys lost a heartbreaker to the Braves, 36-34. You didn't play in that game though. I don't see you on the stat sheet. So
No,
maybe that's the reason why you guys lost.
yeah. It's I'll blame it on me not being there, but no. Yeah, it's from what I heard, great game. I mean, losing for by 2 points to the Braves, it's not something you're proud, but at the same time, you can say that you fought well. Usually, they beat teams by a lot. I know they didn't have their full squad. We were almost full squad, except for me. But I think Brady played a great game. We just made some mistakes that you cannot make against the Braves. I mean, you cannot miss flags. You cannot drop passes. I mean, you got to be nearly perfect, and it showed there because when you have just the scheme of Joe Mauer is so good. He's going to score practically every drive. So I think those drop passes and those missed flags really hurt us in the long run in that game. But yeah, tough loss for us, but we'll bounce back next game and try to win it because we're sitting not too bad at 3-4.
Right.
So yeah, I think we'll bounce back for sure in the next game.
And the fact that you guys lost by such a close score, such a close margin, how much confidence that does that give you now that you guys can hang obviously with the Braves and not just with them, but kind of make that push up the standings in Division A?
For sure. I mean, when we started and we registered for Div A, that for Idaho it was our highest division that we ever played. I think they played last year in Div 2, but Div A is like the best division in spring and the best division that we played. So we knew that the Braves are the team to beat. We knew that was our goal, and we want to beat them. We want to beat every team, but the Braves is like, if you're able to beat them, even if they're not full squad, it's still big and it gives you that confidence. But I think it's more like we gotta focus on the basics, like deflagging, catching the balls, not getting too many drops. So that's pretty much it. Like uh, tough loss, but I mean you got to go through them if you wanna win a championship in those higher divs. So yeah,
Yep.
I think it gave us a good confidence, but at the same time, we knew that we could do better. We knew that we had some mistakes that you cannot have playing against as good of a team as them.
Okay. Is it?
yeah. Sorry, I think I lost connection there for a second.
No worries.
But
All right.
yeah, so I had maybe a question for you guys to jump in something. Like in podcasts, we always talk about like the big names, the AJ Gomes, James Drysdale, the guys that we usually talk. But I was wondering if you guys have a player or in mind that is underrated, so someone that is undermentioned, someone in Division A that shines but doesn't get that recognition that usually like those stars get. I don't know if you guys have someone in mind. Um,
Good
for
question.
me, I mean,
Good question.
no, go ahead, Brent.
No, go
Okay,
for
okay.
it. Go for it.
So yeah, just
Like you're talking like offense or defense?
Yeah,
Or
Just,
so
I think it just
quarterback
means it
anywhere?
in
Like
general.
in general, but I think
Okay.
AJ
Okay.
talked before. Ben McMahon. I think that's my pick.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
Coming up as a quarterback, playing very very well. He's been there in like the mid divisions. Now in
Yeah.
Division A,
Mhm.
playing super well.
Yep.
I think that's a guy that is a little bit undermentioned. You don't really hear his name in like the top QBs. Usually, we always
Yeah.
talk about Wyatt, Maher,
What?
and all these guys. So
Yeah. One thing I'll add on to that with Ben, right? Ben's getting better every year. So Ben started in like Division 5 as a
yeah,
quarterback, and
Yep.
then he's in Division
Yep.
4, and then he's Division 3, and then even if he's Division 2 or Division B, he's not the best quarterback, but he's still one of the top threes, right? He's still having records. He's still bringing his teams going 7-3, 8-2. The only thing is he's not finishing. So that's like kind of the issue where it comes to a point, right? Especially a lot of quarterbacks. So you don't finish. It's kind of like for Brady, right? A lot of people don't. I think I pronounced this right? Brady.
Brady. Yeah.
So so a lot of people don't know who that is, but I feel like
Yeah.
after you start winning championships, I think that's how you get your name out more often because people are like, oh, who won Division B championship? Oh, Idaho. Oh, who's the quarterback for that? Brady, you know. But it's not. No one ever says who
No,
lost the
exactly,
championship.
exactly. True,
So
true.
I think for
Yeah.
Ben, I
Yeah.
think a
It's
lot of
true.
people
It's
it does
true.
help that Ben also he's in FPF, so a lot of people kind of see him and he's
Yeah,
involved
yeah.
more. But I feel like after you win a championship, I think more people kind of see who you are. So just to kind of add on to,
For sure. Totally agree. I
Yeah.
mean, getting those championship, it gets your name out there, and yeah, Ben is that maybe is the one thing that is just holding him from being in that top conversation is just winning that one Division B or Division A championship,
yeah,
one or two.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
but
Did
he's
you?
he's getting there. I mean, every year he's competing for it.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting better and better. Um, One thing I did want to say, are you guys still on Division 8 topics right here, or you guys went to Division B?
Uh, don't mind switching to B.
On
We
the,
could
Okay. Well,
go
just
to B.
last thing. Do you think Braves are going to go 10-0 for Division 8?
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure they. I'm pretty sure they will. I
Yeah.
mean, that
Yeah.
was. I think my prediction before a year. I'm like they're going 10-0 in 5v5 and Division A. Like no question. I think that's not a hot take. I think that's like
Okay. All right, so let's go to Division B.
yeah.
I think the biggest talk right now is who's going to make playoffs. Is it going to be never overtime or is it going to be Les Vergs Folly?
Liver's fall.
Well,
Liver's
oof,
fall.
man.
I'd say that's tough. That's tough, man. I know the article I wrote, I think this week. I think never overtimes and they get that last spot for the simple reason I just think they have more impact players than Liver's fall. Liver's fall is a deeper squad. They have a ton of guys who actually have missed games for the squad, but overall, when they're like their regular guys are
Yeah,
there, like they have a bigger squad than
but
never overtime. I just think the combo of Mac Desor and like Rami Aboud,
mhm.
that top, they're like the best two receivers, at least statistically wise, in Div 2, they're the best two
Yeah, you have
receivers,
to realize.
right? Liver's fall doesn't have any of
Remember,
that on
never
their
over.
offense.
Les Vols for a full need to win 2 games because never overtime has a tiebreak against them. So
Exactly,
they need they
exactly.
need to they need
That's
to
why I'm
have at
thinking of
least two
overtime.
more wins in the rest of their season.
Yep. And I mean, let's look at their schedule, right? Like the verse four. Who do they have left? Okay, so they lost in overtime, 40-30. So like last week, basically. Oh, sorry, almost a month ago now. But they have run it once. I don't see the verse four knocking them off. Shake it, bake is a possibility, but I still don't see it happening. And then fins up and mangoes. I don't see Levers full winning either any of those games, to be honest. Maybe they'll get one, but like you said, they need two to get in, right? I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. So that was like my biggest point. I also want to give it. I also want to call out Poseidon's Kiss.
This year.
I think they're going to lose their next 2 games, and then they're going to. They're
Okay. Okay.
no offense to Idaho, but I think they're going to beat Idaho out.
Hey, we almost beat them. We almost beat them. It came
That
down to
is
the
true.
last
That
play,
is
actually.
true.
That's
It's the last play of the game. It's the last play of the game.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I was gonna say they're gonna lose their next 3, But then I kind of saw the Idaho roster, and I was like, I wasn't too sure. But their next two, I think they lose their next two, and I think they beat Idaho for the last one. I wanted to give them at least one.
Okay. All right. Listen, those guys, they watch the podcast. I'm sure I'm going to see them when I scorekeep on Sunday morning. They're going to have something to say. I don't know if you're going to be at if you're going to be at Con U on Sunday.
Man,
they definitely have something to say about that.
Yeah, Poseidon's Kiss, they're very good. I don't know if I agree with you, Quaysie, on losing their two next game and winning their last one. I think I flip it. They win their two next and they lose the last one. But no, for real. Run it once. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game, but I see Poseidon's Kiss maybe getting that dub there. Fins up.
Yeah.
Also depends if Willpower has a very, very good game. It's tough for that defense, but at the same time, I mean, you got ballers on defense for Poseidon's Kiss. Is really, really good team. They mesh very well together. I think they got a good team chemistry also. Rocco is playing super well. Yeah, I think they're gonna go far. I predict them to go like at least Final Four this. Yeah, for sure.
They're always that team, right? Like
usually, yeah.
They have the talent to win it all. Poseidon's Kids could definitely win it all. It's just a matter of if can like so that game. So you guys are talking about right against Fins Up. It's at 9 a.m. It's at 9 a.m. and I've scored kept a ton of those games with those guys. Like they're getting there like 8:55, 8:57. Sometimes guys 9:05. So I mean, I don't know. They gotta be there. They gotta be there on time, right? So I mean, we'll see what happens. Listen, Fins Up beat them by 1 the other day. I think it's going to be a heck of a rematch. I mean, it's going to go either way, 50-50 game. You know, I'm going to say I think Poseidon's Kids will get the W in the rematch. I think. Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah. It's been a tough past two games for Poseidon's Kids, losing to Silent Ticklers and then to Fins Up. They started very well, man. 5-0, I think, and then lost their
5-0.
Last one.
5-0. Yeah.
Don't know what happened there, but pretty sure they're going to bounce back.
So you know what, Manu? So I'll tell you. So I wrote about this in my article that I put out early in the week. So a lot of those games are one possession games that they won, right? So at the time, so it was last week they were 5-0, and I was talking about in the article, right? There was like 1, 2, 3, 4 of those first 5 wins were one possession games, and in tackle football and flag football, like we see, right? You start winning a lot of those one possession games, you could easily lose them as well, right? And vice versa. So I think that's kind of what's happening now, right? One possession loss to Silent Ticklers, one possession loss to Fins Up. So the momentum was kind of swinging in their way in terms of getting those games less than a touchdown, right? One score games, and now it's kind of swinging the other way now where they're losing some of them. So we're gonna have to see what happens, right? Again, they have a big matchup next Tuesday against Rona Wentz. It's gonna be a close game. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
I have a question for both you guys before we get off the topic for Division B, and we kind of let you leave, Manu. So game on the line. You're down 5, 1 minute left. Okay, what quarterback in Division B are you picking for you to win the game?
Oof. I go Jordan Panetta.
Okay, from Silent Ticklers.
Fair.
I think he's got that clutch gene. I mean, why is he still in Div B? I don't know. That's a question I have for him.
Makes no sense.
Every year is the same thing. They find a way to fit the cap.
I have an idea. I have an idea why. But I think Sir Mr. Rosenblatt likes to have him on his team as a sniper.
That's it. Anyways. That's why.
Brent, who are you picking?
So I was gonna say Panetta as well. To be honest with you, man, I've been a fan of his. So he got mad at me a couple years ago. I do these NFL comp articles sometimes, and I compared him to Daniel Jones, which. In my defense, it was after Daniel Jones had that one good year with the Giants that led him to the playoffs. That knocked out the Vikings. Yeah, he was not happy about that. He was not happy about that. I was like, dude, he's had a big year. He's getting a big contract. I'm not a Giants fan whatsoever.
Daniel Jones?
He had a good year. Hear me out. Big arm. A guy
Brent,
to scramble.
have you seen Daniel Jones?
He's hot garbage now, Daniel Jones. After that 1 year. That one year he led the Giants to the playoffs. I was like, all right, cool. Because I couldn't think of who else. I was trying to like relate flag players to the guys' games that they resemble, not just okay. I can say I don't know, Tom Brady, Jordan Panetta. Does that make sense? No, not really, right? So I was just a guy who
Daniel
could scramble like
Jones?
Panetta, a guy with a big arm like Panetta. I don't, this you see you're tainted, my friend. You're tainted. This is you're basing it off of Daniel Jones the last like 2-3 years. I'm talking about Daniel Jones that one good year that he had. It was literally during the playoffs I was running that article, and I was like, yeah,
After
Daniel Jones. All right,
after
that was a
Daniel
mistake. I
Jones
apologize. I apologize, Jordan.
broke out for that like 60 or 65-yard run, and then he slipped on his own foot, like or he fell. I was like, hey, no, it's impossible. You can't be running that fast and not score a touchdown. Impossible.
That was before that. That was before that, my friend. I read that article before that. Not here. He's all garbage.
Okay.
So Colts fans, I don't know any. So I know Joey Nintero's a Colts fan. Let me give you a spoiler, buddy. Anthony Richardson is trash, and so is Daniel Jones. You guys are going nowhere till you get a real quarterback, and that's for all Colts fans everywhere. Hot garbage.
How did Joey catch a stray? He's like,
no, I'm saying it's hot garbage, my friend. I feel bad for Jonathan Taylor. We're kind of wasting his prime there, but hey, whatever. Michael Pittman too. Anyways, yeah.
All right, man.
Not a close
We want to appreciate for you coming on. We
Thank
have
you, boys.
other guests, but want to say thanks.
Thanks for having me. It was fun chatting with y'all. And Brent, Quaysie, see y'all on the field.
Yes, sir.
Have a good rest of the podcast, boys.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Man.
Bye.
Cool.
All right. So, Brent, so pretty much, can you hear me? Yeah, you can. So pretty much we're gonna go backwards, right? So we're gonna have Daniel Lazzara on the show now. Yep. But before that, just to kind of go down. So we talked about Division A, we talked about Division B. So we're gonna go C, D, E, F. After we have Dan, we kind of pick his brain, ask him the question we want to ask, and we kind of will finish the show with that.
Cool. Sounds good. All right. So I mean, you know what? So I'll pose a question for Division C. So everyone knows my team is a commission. We have been playing hot garbage defense pretty much the whole entire year. Yeah, I'm going to call my team out on the podcast 100%. And listen, it's not for lack of effort. It's just it's just blown coverages, missed tackles, which is a really huge thing on our defense. And just when you give up a big play, right? It happens. Everyone, listen, I'll drop a pass. Someone will drop a pass. Someone will get burnt in coverage. It happens. Any level of football, you got to delete it from your mind. Like, right, Dan will tell you, right? As a quarterback, you have a bad throw, you throw an INT, get rid of it. It's not going to help you in the next series. Anyways, my team right now, I'm calling us out. We're playing Speed Academy Monday at Mary Vic. I hope we can step it up because we've had a couple of like tight losses recently, but we went from being kind of in the middle of the pack to like at one point earlier in the week we were like at the last playoff spot. Not because of some losses. I think we're about the third or second to last playoffs. But anyways, I'm calling out my team. I love the guys on my team. I added some new additions. They're all good dudes. We got to come together on defense and play some real D.
Yeah, because right now you guys are 2-4, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you guys are 2.
We lost to the Hustlers last play of the game, and it's just Anyways, more importantly, the main man is on. Dan Lazzara, Hall of Famer, super good guy. AJ's quarterback. What else can I say? So Mo Khan debates the fact that you're a Chiefs fan. I want to say that Mo Khan told me you're not a Chiefs fan, but I mean, I don't know if you want to set the record straight.
Mo Khan says a lot of things, Brent. You out of all people know this, all right? Mo will run his mouth to whoever and whenever someone is willing to listen. So keep that in mind.
Fair enough. How you doing?
What's up, boys? Welcome back to the FPF podcast over here. You guys are doing a killer job, by the way. I've been hearing a bit of little things over here. Before we start with any questions, okay? I heard that take that you just said, Brent, about the little NFL comparisons that you got going on over there.
Right.
The little Daniel Jones comparison is crazy. Well, it's crazy. That's wild.
Again.
Brent, who did you say Dan was?
Let's hear this. He's Daniel Jones.
I don't think I had. Oh God, I think this was like a Division II article from like 4 years ago. I mean, you know what? Let me try and go back and find it somewhere in the archives.
What I will say though,
yeah.
Jordan, if you're gonna give a comparison, Jaden Daniels.
Okay, I was gonna say Jordan Love. All right, fair enough.
I see a little.
Jordan. Okay.
Jordan Love too is
No,
actually not bad either. But I'm saying like Jane now, he's a scrambler. He's new. He's coming up because like he's
right?
been playing with Jeff, but he hasn't been playing QB lot. But now he's coming onto the scene. He's slinging it. He slinged it at the Nationals. Like he was in the top 4. He's a dog, the kid. Daniel Jones is a bit of disrespect, Brent. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, again. I'll put in that context behind it. It was after he had a big year. He knocked off the Vikings in the playoffs. Listen,
I get it.
I'm not a Giants fan at all. And again, I apologize to Jordan. I think after I saw him, I think a week or two after the article came out and I saw him, he kind of gave me a dirty look. He said, "What's up?" But he kind of gave me like a dirty look, like, "Dude, really? This is who you're comparing me to?" And I said, "Yeah, my bad, dude." I go, "Listen," and I started telling him on the field, he can run. He has a big arm just like you. They won a couple of games. The Giants made the playoffs. Anyways, it was my mistake. I apologize. Sometime either maybe before this season or definitely in the fall season, I'll do another article, and it won't be Daniel Jones that I'll compare.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
All right, Dan. So thanks for coming on the podcast. We have a few questions for you. So I'm gonna kind of start it off. So FBF is such a big it's a big league now, and basically what I want to ask you is like, when did you start playing in this league, and what's the first team that you played for?
So, I actually started playing, I believe it was 2013, which when you say it out loud, it makes me sound really old because that's crazy. I started playing in 2013, and it was for Sea Assassins. That was the team name we had. We had a bunch of dogs over there. We had my brother, we had Stephen Quaysie, we had Alex Blanchette, and we had Zach Jonio also. Dog.
Oh,
Yeah, he was the speed demon at first before anyone else came along.
and why Sea Assassins? Like, what's the name Sea Assassins?
Listen, I have no idea till this day, to be honest with you. I was actually, the way it started, I just finished playing midget football, and one of my cousin Sean, was with his high school team, and they were playing in a tournament. I'm pretty sure we played versus Pilon, to be honest with you, if I'm not mistaken, like classic. We got lit up, but he told me to go to play there. It was Quaysie, the quarterback, and like he was like, "Oh, just come. We're gonna blend in like a double QB system." I'm like, "Okay, fine." I went there. I bombed it once, and like Zach was like, "Yeah, you're playing with us, buddy." And then it was taken off from there, and the rest is history. Honestly, good times with Zach and the boys.
Okay. Can you tell us about your first ever FPF championship win?
Well, you were there, Q.
Yeah, but let the viewers know.
Yeah, so it was Star City, the team name. Okay. Again, we had the 3 culprits from Sea Assassins with Blanchette, Zach, and Quaysie was snapper. And then we brought in the real speedsters with Quaysie and Khalil on the other side. And it was absolute madness all year. We were just destroying teams. It was a fun year. Got it to the finals. We played versus the Incredibles. This was when Greg Stern was absolutely ripping it. Terry Tam, and everyone. It was a great game, to be honest with you. Q made a crazy play in the red zone. We scrambled. This was when Q wasn't lazy, back in the day. He was running suicides in the red zone trying to get that ball, So, yeah, it was a good game. And we were lucky enough to pull it away. And the rest is history, man. First championship. Wow. Good times.
Did you think that was gonna be your first championship? When we made this team and you looked at all the players and stuff around you, you're like, okay, this is the year we're winning a championship, or you're just like, all right, this is the squad.
Low key, I'm gonna say yes because of the fact that we even started off the season with JC Mercel. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
And he got hurt though at the beginning, and it opened up other players to play into the offense and everything. But he was a big piece for us also. We also had Tam, who was an absolute vet onto the team. We had Tommy also on defense before this guy went to go play in Mexico. Our defense was stacked. I was looking at this team going from Sea Assassins to this. I was like, oof, this is an improvement over here. Like it was good athletes all around. It was good vibes. That's what you need on a flag team. You need positive energy. You need guys that are gonna hustle. You need guys that are gonna make plays. Obviously, we had all that. So it was nice.
we had the all mix there. I was also talking to Tam. I was at Tam last week, and we were talking about it. I realized Tam just played defense.
Yeah. Tam actually played I think one time on offense. Okay, it was because Khalil was injured or something like that, or something along those lines. Tam went, or Quaysie wasn't there. Tam went snapper, and I remember I sent him a suicide pass. Sorry, Tam. and he got his face lit up, broken nose,
He
blood
broke his
everywhere.
nose. Yeah. I feel like Tam's just getting hurt.
Yeah, Tam, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry about that one. But yeah, he was a sick defender though. Picked off Wyatt twice in a playoff game, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or in the regular season. It was a big game. It was a big performance. I'm never gonna forget that one.
Yeah, shout out to Tam.
Shout out Tam.
Brent, do you want to ask him any questions too? Cause I sent you the thing.
Yeah. For sure, no, I got it. So I want to ask you. So obviously, again, your first year with the Sea Stats since 2013. We're now 2025, right? So it's a long time, 12 years. How have you changed, not just as a player, but as a quarterback in that time?
A lot of things changed, man. Honestly, well, yes and no. You still gotta stick to who you are, but you pick up little pieces from everyone you play against. You know, you see a little play on the side. Oh shit, that could be cool. We gotta incorporate that. You know, and it's all about evolving, understanding defenses. So when you call your offensive play, you're not really looking at your receivers, you're just looking at the defense, and everything else is just reaction. You know, it takes reps, obviously, but yeah, especially now, like you adapt into the 5-on-5 game, it's a completely new level. So it's like you're restarting the whole process, but it's fun at the same time because it's like when you just get that new Madden game, you know, and you start Ultimate Team or whatever the case may be, you know, like you're grinding at first, you know, you don't have all the tools yet in the shed, but you're going after them. So it's fun. It's a fun process to be a part of, and the guys enjoy it. So it's nice when you're not getting the ball off the field, off a turnover or anything like that, and you're finishing it off with an end zone and a convert, you know, smiles everywhere. It's fun. At the end of the day, it's recreational. So anytime you can just get good vibes going, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're sorry, go Brent.
So I was going to say, so you mentioned 5-on-5, obviously. You've been in the league for a long time, right? Since 2013. It's predominantly 6-on-6, right? FPF. The last couple of years, we've implemented the 5-on-5. As a quarterback, which one do you like more, and which one do you think is more challenging?
Okay, so honestly speaking, I feel like 6-on-6 is easier, just because of the fact I don't know how the rules have changed now. I haven't played 6-on-6 in a minute, but the way it is, 4 downs for 10 yards, it's a bit crazy compared to the 5-on-5 game where you're at 4 downs to midfield. Thankfully, the Nationals changed it up. It used to be 3 downs to midfield, which is absolutely crazy. Everyone loves it except the quarterback position because defenders are sitting at 10 yards saying, come, run. You know what I mean? We're not scared about that 5-yard hook. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, it's a completely different game. It's only quarterbacks that hate that 5-on-5 game, but you get used to it. You know, you got to start finding out new plays. You know, like I said, it's not easy, but at the same time, you got to be a student of the game and know that you don't have all the answers and just start hunting for those answers. You know, like, and if it means staying at the field an extra hour or two while everyone else dip, but you're watching a random flag game that it's a tight game, whatever, and then you see a play that comes through and you're like, oh shit, what coverage would that work against? You know, get your mind rolling, and you're constantly being a student of the game like that. You know, keeps you young.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Talking about this, right? So you just experienced your 3rd senior national championships for flag. How did this last one go?
So yeah, like you said, it was the 3rd one. I'm blessed to be a part of it. To be honest with you, it's a fun tournament to go down with. It's a long tournament, 3 days, and you're constantly. If you got your nice weekend though, it's sick. But yeah, no, the first 2 were not that rewarding for myself. My arm gave out completely by Sunday on both days, on my both first times that I went, so wasn't that good. This time around, I actually got advice from Drysdale going into the 3rd day. He goes, "Hey, why don't you just try taking some Advil? You know, take the edge off." I'm like, "Why didn't I ever think of this? You know, like somebody give me an Advil." You know, like, right away, and it ended up paying dividends. You know, like funny enough, we ended up beating those Braves in the semifinals. So it was
I'm sure Drysdale was happy that he gave you that advice.
We haven't spoken about it yet, but no one wanted to talk to me after that game. I'll tell you that much. No, but it was a fun tournament this year. Honestly, we made it to the finals. We didn't finish the job, but I'm pretty sure we gave everyone a run for their money, and they weren't expecting that kind of performance from us. You know, we had a young team, but our offense was potent, and we had guys everywhere. AJ was going crazy all weekend. Serge had a great performance. Jens Lee had killer performances. Felix is just, you have to respect the deep route with him because he could just burn anyone. So it's a good tournament to be a part of. I'm pissed that we didn't complete it, but at the same time, it's bittersweet just because of the fact that we did beat those real Braves in the semifinals, and then we put up quite a performance against those Team Canada defense Braves. But
Yeah.
kudos to them; they got the job done. They're champs. So
Yeah,
it was a good tournament.
So we actually had AJ on the show just before that. He kind of gave you a shout out. He kind of said he gave you a shout out, gave your team a shout out, and he kind of said, "Listen, you guys brought a new team on, kind of some new players, some younger players as well, and the fact that you guys made it as far as you guys did, end up going to the finals, end up losing. You were basically 25 seconds away from a senior national championship. So you guys were just there, but just so short, you know. But AJ was kind of giving you a shout out, saying that you literally took your team into that game, playing versus the Braves, what they had the Team Canada defense, and I believe you dropped 32 points. It was on them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
exactly
you
it.
dropped 32 points on them, and also the kind of talk about it was like, is Dan Lazzara still the guy? Is he still him? You know, because the past couple years, right, the last 2 seasons ago, you end up playing versus the Braves in I believe before the winter, and didn't go so well. And then you end up the next season for 5v5, you play versus Jeff in the quarterfinals, or yeah, I think it was the semifinals, and you lose that game there, right? This season you did pretty well starting the season off, right? You guys are Montreal Magics. You guys are 6-2 right now. You guys are at, or I think 6-1, I believe, or 6-2.
Yeah, 6-1.
You guys
Yeah.
you guys started a good season, but the talk is Dan Lazzara still the guy? So I think you kind of proved to everyone that you're still him, and you can still do all the stuff that you used to do.
I appreciate that, Q. No, for sure. It's tough because when was it? About 2 years now. I tore my bicep tendon on my playing in a lower division game, like stupid. But anyways, you tear it throwing arm, and the whole rehab process was just shitty. So it's never fun to come back through that. I still feel the lingering pain of it, but at the same time, no one's gonna feel bad for you. You gotta put in the work, and you gotta make sure that you're ready to ball out. And honestly speaking, I'm kind of appreciative of the way everything went down because I did spend many hours at the flag field after not playing and just visualizing the game as much as I can. Like it helps when you're not there, you're getting in those mental reps, as you could say. But honestly speaking, it comes down to the ballers that you have next to you. You're only as good as your teammates bring you. So at the same time, when you got the guys making plays for you, it's easy to have success. But kudos to my teammates. Honestly, they make it easy on me, so I'm not too worried about that.
Besides the competitive side with the senior nationals, how well organized was the event this year in Montreal compared to other places?
I would say it was pretty well organized. I'll be honest with you. Like I liked it. There was things that they could have tweaked for sure, but it's their first time in Montreal, of course. But the fact that you had two fields going at the same time, almost 8 games going on at once throughout the Friday, it's a lot to handle. I'm not gonna take that away from them, and they did to their credit, they had a pretty good job of handling every situation, especially league suites coming in for the Nationals was very nice. Rob, shout out to Rob. He provided the stats for the tournament, and I think it was a huge hit because that's all everyone was talking about on the sideline. Whether whichever game you were at, you're talking about it. Oh, this guy has this many sacks over here. Oh, this guy had 13 catches last game. Like it was nice to see because it's a tournament at the end of the day, and usually you don't get these kind of stats at a tournament. You're just balling off wins and losses, So to get that kind of thrown into there, it was a nice touch.
That's exactly it. I saw a lot of guys posting for other teams. They were saying like, for like Manitoba or Alberta, and just random Instagrams and saying, "Oh, unfortunately, the weekend didn't go as we planned, but I still had 6 touchdowns, 300 yards, like that." So I feel like a lot of people felt like they're kind of like pros, to that point, and a lot of the games are live streamed as well too. So you're kind of like your family back out west, and certain players got to see you actually play. So I felt that was pretty good, and just how it was organized on just the scheduling and how you saw your standings as well too, right? I know a lot of teams were kind of like the past previous years. The biggest issue is like you never knew where you were. Like you're like, okay, we're fifth, are we sixth? But with the league suite, everyone kind of knew where you were at or what you needed. Okay, guys, we can't lose by 12 points. We can't lose by 15
The points against. Yeah, exactly. It would help a lot.
I feel like that was a big impact for a lot of teams, and then just a lot of players, and a lot of teams actually appreciate it. You know, you're not kind of just waiting there. I remember, I think in Nova Scotia when we had our team, I think we were waiting to see where we stood for like 2-3 hours. And we're like, what time you play, guy? Who you playing? I was like, I have no clue. But at least now you kind of knew where you're at the whole time. Going into the whole day, from day 1 to day 3, you kind of knew exactly what you needed and what you did not need, you know? So it's easier to kind of strategize to see where you want your team to be.
And it was all at the access of your own phone. You didn't have to go to the main field on a poster that you're waiting for someone to draw on it, you know, like Rob really killed it adding this in. And I'm sure like you said, the guys from Manitoba, Alberta, all these places that they came down, they were freaking out because we had the luxury of having this our whole lives in FPF, you know,
exactly.
But these guys, they never had that, you know, it's wins and losses. So for them, I guarantee you they're going back home saying, hey, buddy, get on the phone with Rob. Let's get a league suite out here, you know, like hire some scorekeepers. Let's get it going.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
exactly. Dan, let me ask you quickly. So a lot of the conversations, right? We always talk about the greatest of all time. We're asking AJ about it. AJ gives a lot of props to you, but obviously Kevin Wyeth is the GOAT. A lot of pretty much to most people here in FPF. You have over 44,000 yards, right? You have over 1,000 touchdown passes. So it's a personal question. Obviously, you have teammates to help you with that, but you're the quarterback. You're delivering the ball. You're deciding where it goes, so on and so forth. Where do you place yourself in the Mount Rushmore of FPF quarterbacks, or the list of quarterbacks greatest of all time? Where do you place yourself?
How are you gonna ask me this, Brent? Even you, like, like what are you trying to stir up?
Tough questions, my friend.
Listen, I'll tell you this. We play in competitive. I don't play in 6-on-6 anymore because I find it pointless just for the fact that you're competing for the nationals now, and it's just gonna throw you off your game. So I'm gonna take it off the 5-on-5 game. And into the 5-on-5 game, of course, because don't get me wrong, 6-on-6, Wyatt's the GOAT. We know this, okay? Although Braves have given them problems, the Braves as a unit are a great asset to have, okay? But keep that in mind. I would say in the competitive game, you have tons of great QBs. You have Joe Meyer, of course, which, by the way, I'm going to say on record was absolutely disgusting that he got snubbed as at least a reserve for Team Canada, which is disgusting. I told him that to his face. He should have definitely made that team. We're not going to get into that. Joe's great. Nado Hughes is awesome. He should have been at that tournament as well. But I heard he went on vacation. That's why he wasn't there. You got a couple of the good quarterbacks. Wyatt, of course, you have to throw him into there. But I feel like he's kind of having that trouble transitioning into the 5-on-5 game. But I'm assuming he's going to get it down packed. I'm not too worried about that. It's kind of hard when you go against the guys like Isaiah that cover up the middle and you have a 7-second shot clock. Things that get into your play, which obviously affects your game. But I don't know. In terms of your Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks, I don't know where to place myself, to be honest with you. I have good games and I have bad games versus everyone. So it's all a matter of how you feel on that day. Anyone could win. That's what the beauty of flag football is. And I was hearing your take on your previous segment that you guys had, you have to have a short memory as a QB, you know? Like, so whether you have a great game, fantastic, on to the next. And whether you have a poor game, it's, oh, shoot, let's move on to the next. Because whether it's a game or it's the playoffs or whatever the case may be, that's the beauty of the game, is that it always restarts up. So no matter what, no matter which way you want to shape it, you're going to still continue playing. So just have fun with it and try your best out there, you know?
Okay, I mean, I appreciate that answer. I mean, I don't know. Kind of sitting on the fence here a little bit, but all right. That's not the Dan that I know. I don't know. Cocky, but backs it up. Speaking of which, I found that article, my friend. I found that article, the NFL comp article, my friend.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Oh, yes, sir. So I compared you to Aaron Rodgers, actually.
Bro, that's amazing. There you go. My night is made. I'm going out tonight. I'm going to Cathcart.
Okay, so
fuck it.
I'm gonna read you. I wrote a small paragraph. I'm gonna read you quickly because I know Ali Reza has to go. I'm gonna read you quickly what I wrote. Hot-tempered, check. Huge arm that can make every single throw possible, check. Underrated scrambling ability to not only keep plays alive but pick up yardage in key moments, check. Big game experience and some championship hardware? Check. Cocky and can back it up? Check. And also go on to say the comparisons in there is Lazzara is a stand-up guy and not an egomaniac like Rogers who loves the constant attention and gets annoyed when it's given to him. Thankfully. See? So I got you, my friend. I got you. It wasn't a Daniel Jones
Jordan
comparison,
got
my
Daniel
friend.
Jones and I got this. Wow. Jordan, my bad, man. Holy cow. Holy, that's a wide gap.
I will do another one. I will do
I
another one.
appreciate that. Yeah, everyone loves these comps, so please keep releasing them on your articles. That's mental. Mad respect.
Dan,
that's my guy, Rogers.
So Dan, before we let you go, I have two more questions for you. Right. First question: besides AJ Gomez, who do you think is the best wide receiver currently in FPF? Just one name.
Okay, listen. I gotta shout out the Montreal Magic because right now, if you're talking about speed, Felix is up there 1000%. If you're talking about playmaking, I could put Jetsley anywhere and he's a dog. But in terms of the best, like all around package receiver other than AJ, because I'm obviously going with AJ 1000%, I think I would have to go with Jalen Greaves. You know, like the guy is coming off one of the craziest injuries I've ever seen. He was practically paralyzed. He was an All-Canadian before that. Everyone seems to forget clearly. And he worked his way back, and now he's back on the field making stupid plays. I was seeing him this weekend just making diving attempts. His catch radius is insane, and his route running ability is actually second to none. So he's a dog out there. I would, and a lot of people don't put him on their radar. You know, you're gonna say a lot of other names, but I would definitely put Jalen up there for sure.
It's true, eh? Jalen's been through a lot.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Poor kid, fuck. But kudos to him. He doesn't feel bad for himself. I'll tell you that much. The guy's a hustler, bro, and he's a dog.
Yeah, his journey. He's been through a long journey. The last question I have for you is: game on the line, 4th and 20. If you get to pick one wide receiver in the NFL to throw the game-winning touchdown pass, who are you picking?
Past or present? Can I use the past?
No, right now. Today.
If you're gonna say past, I'm going Calvin Johnson 1000%. But today, okay, listen, okay. Because I've seen it done before, I'm gonna say this name, but I'm not a fan of him just because I like the other one more. Okay, now let me explain myself. Okay, I think Jamar Chase is the best receiver in the league by far. But 4th and 20, I gotta go Justin Jefferson just because I've seen him do it. That one-hand catch that he had versus Buffalo was just like, I got the clutch jeans in me, just throw me the rock. And he's a dog too, but like I always have these debates with my buddies, so I gotta stick with Chase. But for the 4th and 20, for sure, give me Jefferson.
Okay, so that's interesting for me because I was talking actually to somebody earlier about that as well. Receivers, fantastic receivers. I'll take either one on my team anytime. I'm a Niners fan. I'd love to have any one of them on the Niners as well. I don't know. I think Jamar Chase, again, he's played with Burrow and LSU, now with the Bengals. Justin Jefferson, look at his quarterbacks. Yeah, okay, Kirk Cousins, when Kirk Cousins got a big deal. Sam Darnold, he's gonna have JJ McCarthy this year. He's had Nick Mullins. I don't know. One guy's played with a quarterback who's way better than the rest. But
which I will agree with that, Brent. I will agree with that. However, people seem to forget it's the Kevin O'Connell system which makes all the magic work. Any quarterback can play in that system. Any quarterback. You realize that when Kirk Cousins came in, dog, and then all of a sudden he goes to Atlanta, the guy forgets how to pick up a first down. I think JJ McCarthy is going to have a great year. Everyone's going to be sleeping on him. He's going to be a late fantasy pickup. And clip this video when he's going off in week 5, and we're going to remember this moment because I really think in that system, his scrambling ability and those receivers, he's going to have a great season.
Okay, so I'm going to keep you on that because I'm in a fantasy football league with Mo. I'm back-to-back champion, by the way. I smoke Mo every year. Fantasy
football.
Go. I made Tim McCarthy as my last pick. We'll see. I'm thinking about it because it's a keeper league. So Justin Jefferson is my keeper.
Trust me.
Last 3 years. All right. I might do that.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with Jefferson.
Okay, so Jefferson. Dan, I have actually one more question. Okay, it's gonna put you on the spot, but there's so much debate, and we need to know. I need to know the quarterback version since we had no quarterbacks on this podcast yet. except for Jeff, but it's Jeff. But we didn't have any others. Okay, so
We've had Phil Cutler too, right? Phil Cutler was your guest.
Oh yeah, sorry, Phil. Okay, my mistake. I forgot.
Shout out Phil.
My fault. Okay. Shout out Phil for sure. Shout out KGP. Okay, serious question here.
No
right?
quarterback.
So the biggest talk is who are the best 5 top quarterbacks in FPF. Okay, without ranking. Okay, I have Kevin Wyeth, Joe Meyer, Nato Pease, and you. Who's number 5?
Ooh. Before I answer that, Q, was that your ranking from top to bottom, or what's going on?
No, there's no ranking. I said I didn't rank.
I'm just kidding. I'm playing with you.
I think it is.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk after Q. Anyway, that's a good question because you got the top 4 teams there. Yeah.
It's always number 5. I've talked to a lot of people and everyone's kind of like, him. Oh, maybe him, but no one has a solid top 5.
Ooh, wow. You see, here's my thing. There's gonna be a couple of names, okay? There could be a couple because Jeff, if you catch him on when he's hot, bro, the guy, I don't know what happens, bro. Like he drinks Mike's secret stuff before the game. I don't know what happened, but bro, the guy's chucking it everywhere. No look passes. He's burning your rusher, bro. You're like, what's happening over here? You know? Jeff, you could put him up there. Like we were talking about just Jordan before. Jordan's on the come up. I think he's solid. Phil's another one. Phil's
So here I'll make it easier for you, right? We'll add some money. We'll throw some money. We'll throw some money in the pot, okay? This quarterback, the 5th quarterback you're picking, he has to drive you down the field to win $100,000. So I don't know if you're taking Jeff in that situation.
Wow. Oof.
Okay?
Ooh. That's a real shade there.
Okay, you know what? I'll be honest with you guys, okay? I'll tell you this. Personally, 100K on the line, okay? I need a drive to win me the game, right?
Yeah.
I'm taking a QB that's not even playing this year in 5-on-5 FPF.
Okay.
Now you guys are wondering, where is he going with it? I'm taking Gensly Alexi as my quarterback. 1,000%. This guy is a gamer. And I think that with the right tools, if he ever, but I hope not because I hope he stays on my team. But the guy is a dog. He's so hard to deflag. True. And he actually has a mean sidearm. And he could chuck it the whole field. And honestly, like when that season where I broke my arm over here, he took over at QB. You know, him and Jared were running a 2 QB offense, you know, but Gensly ran the show. I really think that Gensly has that clutch gene in him. Like, keep in mind, the guy is used to playing. I went to his Laval runs that he has, you know, and it's just like you're back in the day, backyard football. It's 2-on touch, it's small field, 5-on-5, and it's just find your guy,
Yeah.
and he takes care of the ball a lot.
Don't you find 5-on-5 is a little bit of backyard football?
It changed the way you think of the game itself, just because of the fact that it's not 4 downs for 10 yards anymore, so you don't have to be that strategic. Like sometimes you have to go outside of your comfort zone, you know, and that means going 2 QB, running a reverse, dropping back someone, you know, like you're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And because there's one less guy on the field on the defense, it's less field to take care of. So if you throw that hook to the sideline and you have a guy that's shifty and makes one guy miss, that other guy that's from the other side of the field, he has to run on over now to help you out. There's no like 6 guys all lining together. So it makes it more of a backyard football type of game, but I like it, to be honest with you. It's fun.
All right, so you guys heard it first. Jean Slee, top 5.
Yeah, now give me John Slee at like plus 1,600. Thank you very much.
All right, Dan, we want to appreciate you for coming on the show today.
Thank you, boys. I really appreciate it. Whenever you guys want to have me on again, I'll be more than happy to tag along.
Sounds good, man. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, boys. Have yourself a good one.
You too. Thanks.
No problem. Ciao, guys.
That was Dan Lazzara, Hall of Famer, 11-time All-Star, 3-time champ, AJ's quarterback. Good stuff.
Yes, sir. So Brent, just to kind of get back to it, we're talking about Division C, right? We're talking about a bit of your team and how things are not going so well. I kind of wrote to myself, where do you see your team going when the season ends? So right now you're 2-4.
Yeah, 2-4. I think we're gonna make the playoffs. We have a big win over Trap Stars in week one, and they're one of the teams behind us. Uh, we have 4 games remaining, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
we have again a tough matchup with Speed Academy coming up this Monday at Murray Vic. I'm very happy that it's like at 9:30 at Murray Vic, not 7 o'clock at
There you
Murray
go.
Vic. Those games kill me, like trying to get through traffic. After that, we have All Blacks, Sugar Daddies, and LeBron Trash. Obviously, LeBron Trash and Speed Academy are the 2 tough teams we have left on the schedule. All Blacks and Sugar Daddies, 2 good teams in their own right, just not top of the line teams, I guess you could say. So we're gonna have to get a W. Like I think how it is, if we can win at least ideally all our 4 remaining games, but at least 2 or 3 of them, we'll get in for sure. So it's on us to not make mistakes on offense, to play tighter defense and tackle better and see what happens. We have the talent. We have the talent. I think I put together a really good
I was kind
roster.
of
It's
doing it.
just
You guys have to finish. Capitalize.
yeah.
I was actually looking at a thing, right, and I saw that Big Fat Bats, Mongoose, and
Trap
Traptoes.
Star, yeah. I
Trap,
think it's Trap
yeah.
Tours, I think they're calling that. Yeah, something like that. Trap Tours, yeah. So we're all right. So yeah, so all right. So to finish what Quaysie was saying. So yeah, looking at the bottom of the standings, Big Fat Bats 2-4. So they're tied with my team with 4 points, with the Hustlers with 4 points, with All Blacks with 4 points, and then there's Mangoose 1-5. The only victory they have is over us. And then Trapdoors 1-6. Trapdoors, I know we beat them week one. Trapdoors only victory came all the way back in week. Oh, they beat the All Blacks actually. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, they beat the All Blacks. That was 27-19 back in week 5 in the middle of June. So obviously, again, so there's 3 teams outside of the playoffs in. They're gonna have to do what they need to do to try and get some victories. Again, Big Fat Bats have 4 points, so they're tied with my team, the Hustlers and All Blacks, for that last playoff spot. But again, points against and divisional record and all that obviously comes into play. So, anyways, for the commission, for the Hustlers, for the All Blacks,
There.
they all need to start winning. Yep, I hear you.
So sorry, what I was trying to get up before cut off. So the 3 teams you just name. If you had to trade cut our franchise, each team, which one would you go from? Which one you pick? So trade, cut, franchise.
Like a team, like to get rid of a team you're talking about?
Yeah. So okay? So you have these 3 teams. Okay, you own these 3 teams. So you have to trade one away.
Oh, okay,
you have to cut a team, and then you have to franchise, and then you have to keep this basically at your. So out of those 3 teams, which ones would you choose? Like which ones? How would you pick?
I would franchise Big Fat Batch just because playing against them, so they have AJ Zapatelli. There's another kid too on their team. I think it's Tristan Boy. I'm just gonna double check now. Talked a little bit trash against us, but he was a good player. Yeah, Tristan Boy, he's a good player as well. The quarterback was okay. The quarterback was able to scramble and keep plays alive. I believe his name is so no, it wasn't even Matthew Zapatelli, which is really weird. He's not who threw against us. I'm trying to get the guy's name who threw against us. Let me just open it up here. He dropped 40. We lost 40-36, and basically, it's a horrible officiating in that game, but whatever. So it's listed as Matthew Zapatelli. Yeah, sorry, pardon me. Yeah, it's Matthew Zapatelli. Yeah, is a quarterback. So yeah, he went. My apologies.
Brother, yeah.
He had 6 TDs against us, and he yeah, AJ's brother. He wasn't bad at all. I had seen him play in lower divisions a couple years ago, and I was like, all right, this is a guy that needs a lot of work. But listen, he didn't turn over the ball. He played pretty good throughout that game. So I would keep that team because their offense is explosive. And why they do give up a lot of plays deep, they can get a couple of stops here and there defensively. So I guess I would franchise them.
Okay.
In terms of cutting a team, I mean, I would Trapdoors. I'm a little surprised. So we played them in week one. Obviously, week one you can't take much away from that game. They were sloppy. We were sloppy. Yeah, we got the win. But Cooper Young is a guy that's been in the league forever. That's on that team. Nicholas Fawn, he did play against us. He's obviously a player. Their problem is their roster is too many players in and out of the lineup. Like Jordy Melnick, I know he was there. couple of guys, Justin Goodman. I mean, a lot of guys that I recognize from covering this league and playing for a long time. So they have some players. I mean, I guess I would try to make a trade to try and upgrade a spot here and there. They do need, unfortunately, I'm going to say it, they need to upgrade at quarterback. That's what really kind of led to them losing against us. It just was a lot of inconsistency at quarterback. I think it was Ryan Garber was a quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. Again,
Yeah.
So if they have an upgrade at quarterback, and yeah, I would cut Mengus. I've played against him before. I remember last spring season, my team needed to get into the playoffs, and we actually went down to the wire. We scored a touchdown. Corey Williams corner in the end zones. Big play of the game. I don't know. Feel like this team, it's a lot of the same guys on that team. Like Phineas Antoine Laving, obviously. I don't know. They had Thomas go through in their game, which is why they I think he had 3 touchdowns against us. I wasn't there for that game, but like I think he had 3 or 4 touchdowns against us. We had Sanders, so I mean, there's no excuse for that to happen with our team. But I think I would cut them just because like they've been around for a while, and it's just a team that always struggles. They don't really do anything. Like
Yeah, it's very
not trying to throw any
it's
shade, but
very
it is what it
weird.
is. Like
It's weird because there's mongoose and there's mangoose, right?
you have mongoose, yeah, exactly. Well, and that's it, right? That's exactly it. And the higher team, right? Now, mongoose. So we obviously had Thomas on a couple weeks ago. So mongoose, the higher team, right now they're up like near
Yeah.
in or either near first place, right, in Division B. Whereas Mongoose is kind of like that training ground for them. They kind of I guess not their minor league team, but they're their team where they kind of their feeder system, I guess you could say, if you want. And they do so they struggle every year, and it's surprising because there's talent on this
It's
team.
weird. Yeah, I'm always looking
Yeah.
at the record. I'm like, how you guys 2-8? How you guys 3-7? Why you guys 0-5? Like, what's happening over here? They have so
I mean,
many veteran presence.
yeah, like Felix Antoine Laving, he seems like a good dude. Just he throws a lot of picks. Honestly, is what it is. Like he has 12 picks. He turns over the ball a lot, and he's one of those quarterbacks. Unfortunately, I'm not trying to insult him, but it is what it is. One of those quarterbacks where you have to wait. You have to wait. He will throw you a ball. I told my team this. I wasn't there for that game, but I told my team leading up to that game, just wait for it. He will throw a pick. You have to be smart and wait for it. And yeah, that's usually the case. I'm just gonna double check. I don't think he actually threw a pick against us, making me look like an idiot. But I mean, double checking here. It's not the first time I look like an idiot. Yeah, he threw one pick.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, he threw one pick.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very. I'm always confused with mongoose because it's like mongoose,
Yeah.
but I don't understand how
Yeah.
they're doing. They've been in the league for so long. I understand it is Division C, but there's no reason why these guys are not in the middle of the pack. Same thing for you guys too.
Yeah.
To be
No,
honest.
I'd say no, 100%. Listen, you can throw all the shade you want on our team. We deserve it. Listen, it's a defense again. We're missing tackles. We're blowing coverages. Guys aren't where they're supposed to be. We're missing a lot of tackles on offense. We're turning over the ball in inopportune times. We're having some drops and stuff. Lately, our offense has actually been pretty decent. It's the main things. I'll be honest with you, and I've told my team this. It's lack of execution in key moments, beating ourselves by taking dumb penalties or guys showing up late or just not and not executing. Yeah, it's not executing when you need it the most. Like it's just you can't beat yourself. You can't miss tackles. You can't keep on blowing coverages. You can't make bad throws to guys that aren't open. Like it's a recipe for disaster. And like I I like to think again. Like I said, I put together a good team. It's just we're not all on the same page yet, and it's getting late early, right, in terms of the regular season. So we need to get on the same page with 4 games remaining.
All right, so that's Division C. Let's go to Division D. Um, um, yeah, so let's go to Division D. Can Snowden complete the perfect season? So I believe they are 8-0 right now.
Yeah, I was trying to find it here.
Snowden Fall. I had it here. I don't want to say something and they're not actually that.
For some reason now the website is okay. Here we go. They're 8-0. You're right, 100%.
Yeah, 8-0. So they have 2 more games. Can they complete the perfect season record?
I mean, they got Bullseye, so they're off the 6. So they have Bullseye and Trinity. I honestly, again, I'm a little high on Trinity. I think they're a good team. We got a lot of veterans. We talked about last week. There's some Marquis in that. I think. I mean, they definitely can. Is it a possibility? Yes. Will it happen? I don't think so. I honestly think Trinity's gonna knock them off.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but Yeah, Trinity, middle of the pack team, 4-4. But again, they had a lot of veterans on their squad. I think Trinity can knock them off. And even Bullseye, like Bullseye, I've seen them play a couple times this year. It's not a bad team.
Okay.
Bullseye is definitely not a bad team.
All right.
Will they,
So
will they do it? I don't know. I'm gonna say no. I think they'll knock off Bullseye. Bullseye is 2-5 right now. Their offense is struggling, but their defense is pretty decent. Only 166 points allowed. That's one of the top defenses in Division D. Is Bullseye. It's just their offense is usually late to the party. Like they're not playing at the same level as their defense. But you never know what could happen, right?
yeah, yeah, for sure. To actually to go also go on that. So still an inch short sits at 0-6 with 4 games left. Do you think it's still possible for a playoff push while you have Bullseye in front of them, you have Brewers, Fumble Factory, Mighty Ducks, and Stelzies at 1-8, 1-7, 1-6, 2-7, and 2-5. So Still Inch has 4 games left, and they pretty much have to go. They would have to win maybe their next 3 games to get into that playoff 19-20 seed.
Right. I mean, look at it, right? So they have the Ball Hawks, Fumble Factory, Glow Gang, and Studs, right? I mean, I don't know about making the playoffs. I mean, they have to worry about winning a game, right? I mean, the playoffs. No, I'm joking. um, yeah, I think I don't think Stone Inch Short is going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to fall a game or two short, to be honest. Will they go winless? No, but I think that I don't think they're going to
Okay.
make the postseason.
Shout out to Adam Malnoff. Um, yeah,
Off,
so
yeah, yeah,
right
good
now it
dude.
looks like he's going to be winning QB of the year. 44 TDs,
Yep.
4 INTs, 140, 1,437 passing yards in 8 games. So I mean
Yeah,
that's pretty good stats. 44 TDs,
100%.
4 INTs. It's a good number. Plus the fact that you still have 2 games left. I also saw that Noah Crawford is playing in Division D, which is kind of to me that's kind of
Oh,
insane.
oh no, Groper. Okay,
Robert,
yeah, yeah,
Robert,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Groper, yeah, yeah. Nah, he's good. He can ball.
yeah. He's
He can
playing.
ball.
He's playing in Division D, and right now he's leading the receiver race. 7 TDs, 485 yards. To me, I feel like that's a crime. The fact that he's playing in this division. I just won. Was it my Division 3? I think I just won a Division 3 championship with him. Maybe like a year and a half ago, and he kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
destroyed it. So the fact that he kind
yeah.
of backstepped and went to Division D like that, I know how you join your friends, you get into the system, but it's
Right.
kind of crazy to me that the fact that he's
It's Yeah, so that team, right? So it's I think it's Rick and Marty. I think it's
yeah, exactly, yeah,
yeah, Rick and Marty. So that's Marty Freeman's team, right? So Marty Freeman's the quarterback. It's funny. So Marty and Noah Groper are kind of one and the same. I think as a player, I say Noah has a bit better hands. It's a bit faster, but I find they both do a lot of things well, right? They're smaller
yeah,
guys that you can put them at receiver, you can put them at snap. And obviously in Marty's case, you put him at quarterback, but Noah can play rusher as well. And like they do a lot of little things well. I mean, looking at that roster, not that many high ratings, right? It's Marty who's up there with 83 or 84 basically on offense, 80 on defense. Everyone else, with the exception of Noah, is pretty much ranked in the 60s and 70s, which is why he's able to squeeze that team in. That's a really good team, Rick and Marty. I've seen them play a couple of times. I score kept a game or two. There's Lavelle and Brassard this year, and I like what I saw. Um, we're talking about Groper. Yeah, again, if you can get him on your team,
yeah,
get him on your team,
yeah,
right?
for
Because he's a
sure.
stud. He's a
Whatever fits
stand-up
the
guy.
system,
He's a
you
good
do it
team.
right
So
if you're able to
yeah,
do it.
yeah, exactly,
I want to,
exactly. Yeah, I think though Malinoff, you're right. The quarterback of the year. I think
yeah,
I think he has it
yeah,
sewing up unless he plays
yeah, and
horrible
he
over the
throws
next
like
few
at least
games.
3 picks each game. He ends up finishing like 46 touchdowns, 10 INTs, and like yeah, you know.
Exactly,
I want to give
exactly.
a shout out to Rum and Coke. They got 7 interceptions as a team. So I was kind of looking at that, and I also want to give a shout out to Stelzies. Right now, they sit at I think it's 1-8. But crazy fact, every single player in that team has an interception, and they have
Yeah,
9 guys.
yeah,
They got
yeah.
9 guys on that team.
Hmm.
To
Yep.
me, that's I don't know. I was looking at it. I'm like,
Wow.
that's pretty impressive. Not like
Yeah.
the fact that they have 9 guys, every guy's interception. That's pretty. It's cool.
So they got 13 interceptions in total, and 3 of them were returned for touchdowns. That's
Oh,
pretty damn impressive.
even better. But the fact that you
Yeah.
have 9 guys and every guy has an interception,
Yeah.
it's like okay, we're we're 1-8, but
Yeah.
we're still doing what we got to do.
I've seen these guys play, so there's some talent on that team. I mean,
It's
hence
like they
the
play no
13
defense.
interceptions. Yeah, you know what it is. So they rotate quarterbacks a little bit here. So Maxim Addy, number 15, I've seen him play. They need to just. I mean, he throws some picks and he takes some sacks. I don't know if he's a rookie. I'm just gonna check here. He's just a guy who I think with the more reps he gets, yeah, he's a rookie. The more reps he gets, the better he'll be. Because I remember the last game I scored kept him a few weeks ago in Lavelle. Like, he didn't start at quarterback. Addy was playing receiver. He made a play or two here and there, but then they put him at quarterback. Their offense was stalling. They put him at quarterback, and he started to make some plays. They ended up losing the game, but he's a dude with a big arm. He can run a bit. He has size, and the more reps he gets, the better he'll be down the road. This is a guy thinking about maybe 2 years from now. We'll be talking about potentially. Let's say he's playing, I don't know, Division 5 or Division D still, whatever the case may be. He'd be in contention for quarterback of the year.
Just to kind of go back on their points allowed, they allowed 358 points allowed. That's averaging 44 points a game, 45 points a game.
God. And still have 1 game left against the Super Tour from that vet. So I mean, yeah, good luck, guys.
Yeah.
It's
So,
defense wins championships, and it stops you from losing a lot as well. All right. Anyways,
all right.
It's a brand new team. It's a rookie team. So
Yeah, for sure. I feel like they're just gonna get better. So moving on to Division E, we still have 2 teams that are undefeated. We have XL. I put as short. I think XL sophomore.
Sophomore XL. Yeah, Keaton's team.
So we have that team, and then we have Gold Rush. So those are the 2 teams that are undefeated. Who do you think is going to lose their first game?
So I think it might be Gold Rush because Gold Rush is taking on the Chomney Chodes this coming Sunday. That's going to be in Lavelle. Kind of wish it was in the morning. I wanted to see that game at Connu, but yeah, it's in Lavelle. Whereas Sophomore XL is taking on Sourpuss, also in Lavelle. Actually, both games are within an hour of each other. So yeah, both teams are considered undefeated right now. Sophomore XL 5-0, Gold Rush 6-0. But yeah, looking at it, right, like Sourpuss is like 1-4. I don't see them knocking off Sophomore XL. Whereas again, I look at the Chomney Chodes, usually a team this near the top of the standings, as they are this year, right? 5-1. They're taking on Gold Rush. Chomney Chodes could definitely knock off Gold Rush. Yeah, Chomney Chodes could definitely knock off Gold Rush. Not saying it'll happen, but I'm saying it's more conceivable than Sourpuss beating.
I think Gold Rush has a harder schedule than XL. To be honest with you, looking at it, they have Chomney Chodes and they're 5-1. They have Armed Robbery that are 4-2. Then they play North Volt that are 1-5. So that should be a winnable game. And then they play Unicorns. Just here in the Unicorns, I don't think they're a good team, but they're 4-4. So so they play 4-4, which is Unicorns is actually a pretty solid team. So I think they have a harder schedule.
I saw Unicorns play the other day. So Ben plays on that team. He wasn't there, obviously. He was at the tournament last week, right? But like Dante Girardi, Matteo, I want to give a shout out to Matteo Girardi. He's a big dude. I'm a big dude as well. But this guy, like, he has great hands. People kind of underestimate his speed when they line up against him, but he can get deep, man. And I've seen him make a couple of nice circus catches, and he's a player, man. And I like this team. They had a tough outing last week. They're missing a lot of guys, of course, because of the tournament, right? But they lost to Ayers University last Sunday at ConU, but they're back in the saddle. They're playing the Chomney Chodes actually not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after. So a bit of a bye week for Unicorns. That's definitely a team that could do some damage come playoff time.
Okay, for sure. Record on the line right now. We have Antoine Carnot, the quarterback from Sweet Bonanza. He has rushed for 538 yards, and he has 3 games left. The record is 759. He's averaging 76 yards a game. So if he needs 74 yards per game to get over 759 yards. So he's averaging more yards per game than he needs by 2. But and he could actually have the record because right now the record stands at 79 from the quarterback from anything.
Oh yeah,
From
for
last,
Felix Derry Bernard.
yeah,
Yeah.
he
He
broke
could
it
run.
last year.
Yeah. So I've seen Cameron play. I scored kept their game recently as well. Sweet bananas. I guess TD Blitz. I like this kid, man. I like this kid. He has some talent. I mean, obviously he has to trust his arm a bit more. And just throw the ball a bit more. I mean, 12 TDs, 13 INTs, only like a 41% completion
Yeah,
percentage. That's
well,
not great.
it's his legs,
A little
right?
bit better at time. Well, that's it. That's it, right? So, I mean, you look at it. So, I'm looking at his rushing totals right now. So, you said he needs about 74 yards a game.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Looking at it right now, so okay, week one, he had 100. He had 126. Then he had 73, 43, 64, 84, 75, 73. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's getting that rushing record. The rushing record will say Antoine Caron's record in about a week or two.
He has Blue
Wow.
Mountain State, Takeoff, and Northvolt. So,
Yeah.
but I,
Well,
but I
there
think
you
the
go.
way it's going, right, and they're 0-7, so they kind of have nothing to. They have nothing to lose at this point. So hopefully he actually hears this podcast and he kind of sees that the record is on the line because it's very doable um, for him
I
to.
mean, so you talked about the teams he's playing, like Norfolk and that again. That's not really a team that's going to scare too many
Yeah.
people, at least defensively. It is what it is, unfortunately. Blue Mountain State. I mean, I can say they're a contender. Again, they're in fifth place, so there's nothing to sneeze at, and their defense actually is top notch. But I mean, no, I definitely see Cameron being able to break that record with that remaining.
It's going to be based on the
schedule.
rusher
Yeah,
too,
3
right?
games left to do it.
It's going to be how good the
Yeah,
rusher is. Yeah,
and that's it exactly. Exactly. It's how good the rusher is and how good these defenses are at tackling. Because again, let me
yeah,
tell you, tackling is
exactly. You
huge.
miss 1-2 tackles, it goes from 10 yards instead it goes from a 10-yard gain to 30. It's a big change.
Exactly.
So that's something that I kind of saw. Hopefully he also sees it too. Someone kind of mentions it. By the way, you actually could get a record, and it's still a big record. The fact that you could say, "Oh yeah, I have the FPF record," still still pretty cool to have.
Any record. I mean, except for losing any record, pretty much in FPF is good. So and I'll do you one better, Quaysie. So Antoine Caron, you have a personal invitation from the both of us to come on this podcast once you break that record, or even maybe the game before you break the record. Come on the podcast, talk about it. Looking at your stats right here now, you've been a player in the league since 2022. So I mean, you haven't been in the league that long, but been in for a decent amount of time. So come on, man, come on, brother, come on, talk about it and explain why you're so good as a rushing quarterback.
There you go. All right, so Division F. So one thing I was kind of looking at, can Make Football Great Again win their last game of the season versus the Jamaican bobsled team?
Bobsled team, my guys.
Are
That's
they
real funny that
are, are they gonna be able to get their first win against them?
All right, so I saw Make Football Great Again. The team was funny, man. It made me laugh. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of jokes, a lot of self-deprecation. Um, they were funny. They're a good group of dudes. I don't know if they're gonna be able to win a game. That offense is just it's bad. It's just bad. I'm pulling for them because again, they're a good group of dudes. Like they're a good group of kids. So I really hope they can pull one out. Again, yeah, taking on Jamaican bobsled team, another team who made me laugh. You know what? I'm gonna say Make Football Great Again is gonna pull off the upset and knock off the Jamaican bobsled team just because.
I'm gonna agree with you, just because. I'm gonna agree with you.
There you go. Solid.
Also, something else to know. So right now, so Division F, there is 10 teams, right? Out of the 10 teams, who do you think is going to finish the first seed?
I mean, I'm saying so. I mean, Jamaican bobsled team is in that race. The Dolphins are in that race. First down, Sniffers, and Maggots. I'm gonna go with PSTM. I've been talking about them for a while, man. I like what I'm seeing out of this team. They have an aggressive defense. They can create turnovers. Their offense is pretty good. They have, I believe, the third best offense in the league. In Division F. Sorry. I know. So they've lost. I'm looking at it here. not, is it a two-game losing streak? No, it's not. Sorry, they've lost. Yeah, well, no, sorry, they lost two out of the last three. So they lost the first down sniffers actually, and to the Jamaican bobsled team. So that was a bit of a shocker. I'm hoping that's a wake up call for them. They rebounded for win over make football great again. Unfortunately for that team. So they finished with the Gamblers and they finished with the Maggots. Of course, talking about PSTM. So like looking at those two games, I mean, those are two teams obviously in the playoffs right now, but it's not an easy street, right? Maggots are 5-3. The Gamblers looking at it right now, they're 4-3, right? So I still think PSTM is going to finish first, but as you see right now with the standings, it's close, and I think it's going to remain close the rest of the way.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna go with the Dolphins. I like their schedule. I like the team that they actually have. Right now they're 5-1. They have 4 games left, and I think they're all doable wins. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad not a bad bet there. Looking at it right now, yeah, I mean, look at the remaining schedule. Yeah, you're right. I think maybe it favors them more. So I think you definitely could be right there. I mean, you might have to wait and see, right? I mean, it's a couple weeks left in the regular season. Anything could happen. But we'll maybe make a little bet here. So you're saying Dolphins, I'm saying PSTM. It's gonna be interesting. I wanted just to give a shout out to Vengeance for a second. I was talking to a couple of the guys from the team the other day. A buddy of mine is a quarterback on that team, Matthew Chadwick. It's having a bit of a rough season, 13 touchdown passes, 16 INTs, but this is, I think, his first extended time playing quarterback. He's played with Peas and a couple of the guys around FPF, but this is his first time really, I think, as the number one guy at quarterback. Bit of a learning experience. He has some weapons on his team, John Sebastian Rossi. I've written about this guy over the years, Josh Curry as well. Um, they're right now they're on the outside looking in. Again, Vengeance has, I believe it's a 1-6 record right now. Yeah, 1-6 right now, right? So they're on the outside looking in of the playoffs, but they're 2 points behind under overachievers, right, for that last playoff spot. So let's see if Vengeance can kind of get their act together and get the W or get a W because they have 3 games remaining. I'm looking at it right now. They have the Dolphins, first down sniffers, and a huge matchup to end the regular season on August 3rd, so Sunday, against under overachievers. Right now, again, under overachievers, 2 points up on Vengeance. Let's see if that's going to be the case come week 11. They go head to head, and I think whoever wins that game is going to get in.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. So going to co-ed, let's jump to co-ed right now.
Yep.
Kiss My A's are sitting at 5-1, which is very interesting. That 12th spot, though, regarding all those teams, is really crowded. It's going to be exciting to see who actually gets that spot.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's core three here. I mean, it's tight ends, vicious and delicious. Oh, core one, sorry,
No,
I
code three,
apologize for you.
code three, code three. You're good.
Yeah, yeah, core three. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no worries, no worries. No, Ali, we got you. No worries. So tight ends, vicious and delicious, Wolfpack, no limits, and road runners. Those are the 5 teams on the outside looking in. Like you said, though, right? Le Poulet, I've seen them play. They have 4 points. They have that last playoff spot, but again, everyone else, with the exception of route runners, pardon me, is within striking distance,
Yeah,
right?
and
So
you also have mixed
it's gonna be
signals
interesting to see how this one plays
and
out.
flamingos also up at 2 and
Yeah,
4, so they all have they do have ties.
yeah,
They do
five
have that
points each.
tie, but I mean, it's one game
Yep.
and then they get bumped, right? A tie is not a win is better than a tie, you know. So
Yeah, well, there you go. That's it. That's it. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this one plays out. I had a chance to do the Drink Dealers game. They beat up on the Vultures. I think it was this past Sunday
okay,
at Connu. Yeah, it was this past Sunday at Connu. I mean, the Vultures again were missing Ben, missing a couple other players here and there. I know Emma was there, but pretty much that was about it in terms of like the regular crew. I think for the most part. So yeah, Drink Dealers big win for them. So let's see if they can keep it up. They're playing la bit at TB. I'm not sure what that is. I've seen them play. This is an athletic team. It's a tackle team
that bit.
who's playing in
Okay,
flag right here. They got some athletes.
okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that game. It's going to be this tomorrow night actually in
They
Laval.
got the red jerseys. Oh, that's Kalash
Yeah, exactly.
Shalamoy, right?
Yeah, thank you. That is exactly. You're 100% right. I was going to say yeah. It was like CL or CCL or something I saw in New Jersey. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it
let's
is.
say
Exactly.
Kalash Shalamoy. Yeah.
Yep, it is. It is.
Yeah, interesting. Also something also to say. I was looking at a co-ed 3. Uh, False Kings Ghosted barely escapes a 2-3 tight end team, and they end up getting the win 45-44. Is that something we should be concerned about Ghosted, how they almost lost versus a team that's above 500, or it's like whatever, they just had one of those games?
I mean, I like Ghosted, man. I like that team. My main man, Pranav Sharma, he's the quarterback of that team. A lot of guys I've seen over the years, like Natan, I think it's pronounced it Natan Neto, a couple of the cast on that team. Like, I root for them because they're a good group of dudes and the ladies as well on that team. I've scored a ton of their games over the years. They have talent, right? It's just with this team, it's like a soul crushing INT or a blown coverage or a drop ball. It's always something getting in the way of they kind of steal defeat from like the jaws of victory. I know the saying is usually the other way, but you could use it that way as well, like stealing defeat from the jaws of victory for
Yeah.
for tight ends. But again, they have a talented team, and like you see right there, right? They took mixed to log 27-26, they lost. Ghosted, they lost 45-44, right? So that tells you that they're in these games. It's just that they make these crucial mistakes at the wrong time. So I think for Ghosted, pardon me, for it's maybe an alarm for Ghosted, but again, they got the W, which is what they're supposed to do. It should have been a little easier, maybe, but I mean, they got the W. I think for tight ends, it's a confidence booster, but more importantly, if you're Le Poulet or the teams we talked about, like Vicious and Delicious and Wolfpack and No Limits, you have to be like, oh shoot, you know what? Tight ends, they're actually
Yeah.
pretty good, or they're better than what the record says. We got to pick up our game.
Especially when it comes to playoff. I don't think that's a team that's maybe some teams are going to want to play against in the first round, right? For the record they have, it's always frustrating when you see a team like, oh, they're 4-6, but like they should be maybe 7-3. They just had those they had those 1-game losses or 1-point losses where it went from being 4-6 compared to being 7-3. So that's also not fun to do. Quick question for you: what's more likely to happen? A game ending 4-2, or are you winning a draw out of 2,000 people and everyone gets one ticket, but you get 5?
Huh? So you're in a draw.
So there's a draw, okay? You have a
Yeah.
draw, and there's 2,000 tickets in the draw, okay? You have 5 of those tickets, and everyone else has 1. So you have 5 names in out of those 2,000 tickets, okay? So you get 1 draw, and then you reset. You put the ticket back. 1 draw, you reset, get picked back. What's more likely to happen? Winning a game 4-2, so two safeties to 1 safety.
That's what I thought you had said at first, and I was like, "Wait, what is 4-2? Like, we're not talking hockey or baseball." Okay, all right. I don't know why I'm doing math on this show, but okay. I'm gonna say, no. I think winning the draw would be more likely than seeing game end 4-2.
It's still a lot of tickets if you think about it, because you're resetting. It's not like you're taking them out; you're putting them back in. So you have okay. I saw some type of it was like a TikTok, and in my head I was like, it was a bit different, so I kind of brought football terms towards it. But I was like, maybe you get lucky and your ticket comes out. But
I mean, someone wins the 649 or the Lotto Max every week or whatever. So I mean, hey,
very very true.
Not every week, but usually every week.
Coed 2. I don't really have much to say to think. I don't have much to say about Coed 2. Only that I don't like that everyone makes playoffs. There's no excitement. There's no this team, that team. I don't like it. I think they should have had. I think there's 12 teams in Coed 2. I think they should have had 11 teams to make it. Trying to make it a bit interesting, because now it's like, okay, you guys are playing for a bye or whatever, but there's no. Everyone's making it, so it's like. Sometimes in some divisions, I'm like, oh, why am I even playing? Like, I get you're playing for the fun of it, but you need that extra like panic. I don't know. Maybe it's just me in that case, but I don't know. I find it very weird.
You said that before. I mean, listen. I mean, the first 4 teams get a bye. It is what it is. Listen, whether you make the playoffs or not. Sorry. Whether it's all the teams making the playoffs or just a couple of the teams, the point is you make the playoffs. You still got to handle your business, right?
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Very true.
You can be the number 1 seed and lose in the second round because you had the first round bye. You can be block party, right? Block party is the final seed. They're in 12th place. They could pull off an upset and knock off a bunch of teams. So you never know, right?
Mm-hmm. But
so
that's all I had for Coed 2. I don't know if you had anything for Coed 2.
I'm good.
For co-ed 1, the merge are 7-0. Do you think they're going to go back to back? Because last year they finished 10-0. Do you think they're going to go back to back and have an undefeated season again?
I mean, they very well could be. I mean, they almost lost to the IG team last Saturday.
Yeah.
Sorry, last Sunday. Actually, last Sunday, a couple Sundays ago at this point. My apologies. 2 Sundays ago, I watched that game at ConU. I mean, they finished with Chat, GTD, Lego My Flag, and plenty of fish, right? So definitely not a cakewalk for the merge.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, no. You know what? Sorry.
They play the top 3 teams, the bottom.
Well,
They play the mid 3 teams. So it's like them first, and then it's like Lego, ChatGPT, plenty of fish.
Well, they beat, so the merge beat Chat GTD 31-26 week 1. They beat Lego My Flag 47-42. Yeah, well, it's a couple of weeks ago actually, and they beat a Plenty of Fish 55-36. I'm gonna say in the rematch between all 3 games or rematches, I'm gonna say one of those teams. I'm gonna say it. Lego My Flag. I think is gonna knock off the merge.
Okay. So I'm not gonna talk about that. Something that's very interesting in co-ed, Marvin and Jalen are both candidates for receiver of the year. But you also have Franchlis Cochelot. He has 3 games played, 21 catches, 359 yards, and 8 TDs.
Yeah. Okay.
He's averaging 120, like I think 25 yards a game. I want to say 123 yards a game. Do you feel like if he gets 5 games played and has the same stats, do you think he should win receiver of the year, averaging over? Let's just say he's averaging over 120 yards a game. He's averaging 3 touchdowns a game. Do you think he should get receiver of the year by only having 5 games played?
That's a good question. I mean, you want to look at the body of work. I mean, in terms of length, yeah, it's only 5 games played, but he's putting up those numbers in 5 games. He's eligible for the playoffs. I don't see why not, to be honest.
Like to compare to other guys, Jalen has 469 with 4 TDs. Marvin has 400 yards with 4 TDs, 14 TDs. They both have 6 games played, so he's behind by 3 games, but he almost has around the same amount of yards. He's behind Jalen by 100, and he's behind Marvin by 41, and by touchdowns he's behind them by 6.
Yeah,
So it's like it's close, you know?
No, it's close for sure. I hear you, but again, putting up that amount of work and that amount of production, right, in such a short period of time, I don't see why not. Because this is not a thing. Whoa, this person plays, I don't know, Division A, so they can't. Like both those guys play in higher divisions anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, that one thing that could kind of disqualify somebody for winning something is out of the window, right? So I mean, I don't see why not. I would give it to the guy putting up that oppressive amount of numbers in such a short amount of time.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking exactly the same thing. So that's it. That's all I have for co-ed 1. So we did co-ed 1, 2, and 3 to finish FT. We did actually went backwards this time. We went A to F. We have women's 2 and women's 1.
So we did there's women's A, B, and C, right? So
yeah, women's A, B, and C. Yeah, sorry, we have 3 women's this year. So for women's, so for women's C, there's 4 divisions. I don't think much change. Last time we talked about Humble getting their win. She Sparks getting the win. I thought Cavaliers was going to run through this and be the best team. But right now they sit at 5-2. Turf Titans are 6-2, so they actually took the lead. I'm surprised about that. I actually thought Cavaliers were literally going to just run with it. But Turf Titans are 6-2, 225 points for, 62 points against, and they have 12 points. So it seems like they're going to run Cavaliers for their money this year.
Yeah, so they beat the Cavaliers, right? Turf Titans beat the Cavaliers in a rematch last Thursday, 26-18. Hence why now Turf Titans are in first place. I mean, Cavaliers probably finish with back-to-back games against Humble over the next 2 weeks, and then they finish against She Sparks, right? So I mean, if they win out, speaking of the Cavaliers, I mean, will that be enough to walk away with the title? Because I mean, you're looking at Turf Titans, right? Turf Titans they have 2 games left. So Cavaliers have the game in hand. Trip Titans finish with She Sparks back-to-back games next Saturday, and then the Tuesday after. So I think the Cavaliers are going to finish first because they have the game in hand.
Okay. But yeah, anyways, that was interesting. Going to women's B, we still have Wolfpack that's leading the pack. They're 7-1. Hebrew is 5-2. Chaos is 4-3. Supernova 3-3. 1-6 for Dream Killers. Lee ETS is 1-6. I'm not surprised about the bottom two teams, Dream Killers and Lee ETS. Chaos also not kind of surprised. They always find themselves in the middle of the pack, and then they kind of always make the finals. Wolfpack surprising that they're 7-1. We kind of talked about this the last podcast. Is this the year for the Wolfpack? And it's every single week. It seems like it is, but we're gonna have to find out. Um, we're gonna have to find out later on. Right now, their defense leads. They have 170. 107. They have allowed only 107 points, so they lead their defenses, and it seems like this might be their year.
It might be. I mean, just going back though for a second. So Chaos, right? Chaos, big win over Dream Killers, like you talked about. You're not really surprised about that. Wolfpack are taking on Chaos, not this Saturday, coming the Saturday after. So we'll talk more about that game next week. But that's going to be huge, right, for both teams because listen, if Chaos gets the W in that game, which you know what, I mean, right now they're in second, but they're 2 points behind. Pardon me, they're actually 6 points behind first place Wolfpack. So right now, Wolfpack is a clear favorite in the division, but I don't know. I think Chaos can knock them
No,
off. I could be wrong.
usually
Talking
what
more
usually
about that
happens
next
in a
week.
matchup, Chaos does win that matchup, but this year it's a bit different. But again, they do play.
Yeah.
They're gonna end up playing, so we're gonna see what happens. And also, I think that's gonna bring motivation to either team. The winning team that wins, I think it's gonna be motivation going into the playoffs, saying, "Listen, we beat this team. We could beat them again." And if it's the opposite, so if Chaos wins, there's that, and if Wolfpack wins, it's gonna be okay, guys. Listen, we beat them twice this year. Now we really have a lot of motivation going into this.
Right. And I think quickly a big game coming up this Sunday is going to be so Hebu. You just mentioned him taking on Supernova. Supernova right now they almost knocked off the Wolfpack. They lost 25-20 last Monday night down in Mary Vic, right? So I mean Supernova, they're on a 2 game losing streak right now, but again, they almost knocked out the Wolfpack. So I mean, don't sleep on Supernova just yet. We'll see what they do against Hebu. They played a couple weeks ago. It was a blowout. 54-6 was the score in favor of Hebu over Supernova. Hopefully, Supernova kind of learns something from that and it'll be better this coming Sunday.
All right, so going down to women's one, we have the basic 17s as well. We have Le Crocs that are 1-5. We kind of talked about them struggling all year. They're kind of missing some pieces. They're trying to add some pieces as well. They kind of made that big jump, which is a shout out to them. We talked about it before. The fact that they are playing the best, they're pretty much playing the best talent in Canada with all these teams that we have. So I feel like it's a good thing that they did make the big step because it kind of shows exactly where they are, and they're only going to get better from here. We have the top team, Sub Zero. We kind of talked about them too. The biggest matchups that we're going to see soon is Sub Zero versus Cayenne. We always have these two teams kind of always in the finals playing with each other, so we get to see them kind of a back to back schedule games where they're going to play versus each other on July 20th and then August 3rd. So we kind of get to see maybe a preview of the championship. So we get to see, the preview of the championship for women's one. It's gonna be interesting to see how each team is gonna play against, like how it's gonna be on who's gonna win one. Usually they sometimes they share wins. So Cayenne will probably win the first one, Sub Zero will win the second one. So that's gonna be very interesting to see on July 20th and then August 3rd.
One matchup I'm looking forward to actually this Sunday is going to be at Con U. It's going to be the Monarchs taking on the Matrix. That's going to be this Sunday. Pardon me, Laval. Pardon me, my apologies. So Laval this Sunday at 6 o'clock. They met it once in the regular season so far. Monarchs knocking off the Matrix 25-22. That was back in week 2. Right, looking at the standings right now, Monarchs are 4-3. They're in third place, tied for points with Cayenne. We're in second in the Matrix right now with 4 points. Right, they're tied with a couple of teams there for fourth. So Matrix and Monarchs again taking place this Sunday in Laval. That's going to be a big matchup. Can the Matrix pull off the upset and climb a little closer to the Monarchs in the standings, or can the Monarchs get the W and kind of jump Cayenne for second place right behind Sub Zero?
Talking about upsets, I want to give a huge shout out to Matrix. they were at the national senior women's competition, which was in Montreal as well. They ended up beating Team Canada White in the semifinals and getting their
Oh,
team to the finals. And that's a
nice,
to be honest with you,
nice.
it's a huge win for them. It's a huge win for their club as well because the Team Canada White team, like Team Canada White, they had Team Canada White, Team Canada Red. So Team Canada White team had a solid group of girls, and the fact that Matrix were able to come down and get that win, it was a big thing uh,
Yeah.
back at the nationals.
Yeah, congrats to those ladies for sure. I mean, I had a chance to watch a lot of the Instagram stories from a lot of ladies. Lori Willette, I had a chance to talk to her about her experience at the tournament. She said it was amazing. Apparently, they're coming back to Montreal again next year. I know Sarah Parker had a couple of posts as well that she out on Instagram. A couple of the ladies I know they're at the tournament. They all said it was a great time, and like all the guys were talking about, well organized. So congrats
Yeah.
to those ladies for playing and putting it on and knocking off potential Team Canada, right? Potential Olympic
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, so big shout out for them. Also, big shout out to Team Canada Red that ended up being the Matrix in the finals. That was Sarah Parker. She ended up winning I think it's her second nationals or third nationals, but she ended up winning that with a bunch of girls, some of the girls from Montreal as well. So shout out to them, congrats. Yeah. So only thing we have left is 5v5
Yeah,
men's.
so let's go quick 5v5. I'm looking at the intermediate right now. Couple of games, five guys this Saturday taking on Montreal Mavericks, Blue Dry against the Giants. I had a chance to watch. They played against each other this past Sunday at Connu. It was ugly. Blue Dry got smoked in that game, so maybe they could come out play a little better in a rematch against Les Giants or Les Giants. And then Montreal Mavericks again, they're playing Sunday, so they have Saturday against five guys, and Sunday they're playing FC Bing in Laval. So three big games we saw already this week. Ambush knocked off five guys 40-30 in Mary Vic on Tuesday night, so 2 days ago.
Okay.
So again, three big games coming up in intermediate to look out for.
Hopefully Montreal Magic get their first win of the season. That would be nice for them. So going to competitive 5v5, now we get to see balance, right? Braves sit at 6-2, Montreal Magic 6-1, Flagmore 5-2, Raw Dogs 5-2. So everyone's kind of in between. You have KGP 4-4, and then you have the bottom Party Crashers and Norgard,
Yep.
Easy W, and then you have Sooners that are 0-6.
45. Yep.
Unfortunately for Sooners, they had their two games versus Norgard. They end up losing both those games, so I think they're going to go 0-10. Just a little shout out to them to kind of making that step up and coming to play versus pretty much the best teams in
Yes. Yeah.
Canada at that point. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about the seniors. You had Raw Dogs, you had Party Crashers, you had Braves, you had MTL Magic that all made it to the top 8 teams, right? So you're playing literally the best of the best teams in Canada. So the fact that you kind of made that jump, you kind of came into this league and you kind of try to make a name for yourself. Uh, you got to give your props to them. Also, props to No Regard to actually taking care of business. A lot of people are kind of wondering is it going to be Sooners, it's going to be No Regard, who's going to win these games. No Regard, the more veteran team into this with all the guys they had, they kind of took care of business and they got their 2 wins. So hopefully they're able to kind of use that as momentum and start getting some more wins.
100%. I mean, look, as soon as 45, they finish with Raw Dogs. You can say Montreal Magic, Party Crashers, and ECW. So I mean, ECW looks like the only possible win that Soon as 45 can get. Do I want to put any money on Soon as 45 knocking off ECW? No, I don't. But hey, listen, you gotta hit the field, you gotta play the games and see what happens. So you never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Best of luck.
Two things before we kind of leave. I just want to give a shout out to the women's Concordia flag football team. They actually finally got associated with the Stinger brand. So a lot of people don't know this. When you kind of start when you start building a team into the school, you're not associated with the school name. So for them to kind of that they're kind of like in between the process of actually becoming Stingers. So now they're actually fully Stingers, and I guess there's some benefits that they're going to get as well. But now they're going to be part of the team in the school and stuff like that. So shout out to them. I know Sarah Parker and that their organization took a lot of time, and finally they end up being able to get on board Stingers. Oh, okay. So that's pretty much it for the wrap. That's pretty much it that we have to say. Again, I want to say congratulations to all the teams that competed at the Senior National Championships. It was a great event. It was a great event. So Brent, welcome
Nurture,
back.
nurture,
Yeah, do you have
nurture.
anything else to say before I close
No,
out?
no, I was in agree with you. Congrats again to all the teams that took place and yourself, obviously, that played in the nationals. Again, a lot of the players that I talked to, both in the men's and women's brackets, I guess you could say, on the sides, said it was a great time. And shout out to Montreal, really, for really highlighting the talent we have here in Quebec and being a great host. And listen, it's summer in Montreal, right? Jazz Fest, Kermass, everything going on. Just for Laughs is coming up. Having a flag football tournament that showcases the best of the best we have in the country. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's about time, to be honest with you. The amount of teams that we even had compete, right? There was 8 teams for senior. There's 8 teams for competitive males, and then 8 teams for women's. I think we had some uncompetitive thing as well. We had a lot of teams, so the fact that we are able to pull that many teams in this competition kind of just showed why we're known for flag football. You know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, what's the best province to play flag football?" And also for FPF, you have everyone that was competing in that tournament was also part of FPF. All of them were players as well. So it just kind of goes to show how big football is and also how big it is for our league. So again, shout out to everyone that competed. Shout out to all the winners. It's pretty nice to tell yourself, oh, I'm a national champion, or even, oh, we're the second best football team in Canada as well. You know, that's also nice to kind of put that on your resume.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I know we'll have some questions we'll be putting on the Instagram, the Flatfoot Football Instagram. I'll be putting some on the Facebook wall as well this week. So we'll have a couple of new questions up there for you guys to answer. We appreciate all your participation and all that. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. So thank you guys for watching. It's been the latest episode of the Flatfoot Football First and Goal podcast. I apologize again, technical difficulties on my end. So that's why I was only able to get on about 20 minutes or so, half an hour in. Thank you to Ali, Reza, and Quaysie for holding down the fort. That's why I was able to show up and get all these technical things straightened out. Next week, hopefully, will be a lot better. Enjoy the weather. Get outside. Summertime. I had a chance to hit up the Jazz Fest a couple of times. It was awesome. We say Just for Laughs is coming up, man. Just get outside the house. If you're not playing flag, get outside. Enjoy the good weather because fall was on its way, and after that, winter, and that's just not good for anybody.
Yeah, the whole cycle restarts.
Yeah. All right, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Obviously on YouTube. Make sure we got all those likes and all that stuff. Again, stuff will be up on Facebook. Stuff will be up on Instagram. Yeah. Thanks for Quaysie. Thanks to Ali Reza and Brent Bodkin saying thanks for tuning in. And we will see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.